Alright, we're here with BBR episode 116. We're here with our Animorph selves. I'm Mr. Rabbit because I was late. We got Goose Man.
Late for a very important date.
Yeah.
Why were you late, you fucking loser?
I was asleep. I was somewhere else.
I was in
I was having
Wonderland.
a dream.
Nice.
Hey.
And then Fred, snuggle,
Snuggleuppagus?
Snuggleuppagus.
Snuggleuppagus. Would you like to snuggle, Fred? Is that what you're saying?
I'm okay with it.
Alright.
Cool.
Next we'll have to get the group chat together. We'll have a big snuggle fest. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
sleepover.
Yeah, Goose. Yeah, sleepover. Yay! In Old Man Paradise. Sleepover in Old Man Paradise.
I'll put our heads on someone else's belly and just laugh.
Wow. Okay, this is getting graphic, I think. I'm Goose Man on account of Fred sent the Dark Thule split, and I like Dark Thule, and that just kind of reminded me of that dude Athar Psycho Slaughter, who was one of our trivia questions on episode 23, I believe.
Way back.
Yeah, way back. That dude has another band called Gauntlet Sword, and I forget which album art it is. Is it? Yeah, it's the 2006 album art, Theosophy, and it depicts a sort of goose. It's a very poorly done Photoshop goose man made of real images. It's like a guy with his hand up, and with like his other hand is big, and he has a giant thumb. And then there's just like he just has a big giant goose neck head, and he's like in a black metal forest. There's not really any rhyme or reason to this artwork. I don't quite understand it, but Fred said it discouraged him from listening to it. Not me. This drew me in. I like stuff like that.
Is it good though?
Yes, I remember it being pretty good. Like I said, that guy, that Athar dude, his projects are all pretty good. They're all interesting. Whoops, I'm dropping my cap here. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, that's why I am Goose Man. I think he goes by Pain. Oh, no, that's a guy named Vangelis, and he's doing a Roman salute in his band picture. I'm thinking of Athar, who's a drummer vocalist. Let's see. He's in Dark Thule as well. Invocation, Caiadus, The Shadow Order, Der Stürmer. Oh, that one chick band, Astarte, Eschaton, and Vampirinacht, who got a little bit. Oh, is that the same Vampirinacht? Yes, it is. It's the Vampirinacht that came back in like 2017. If you guys remember that, that was quite good.
The other guy that was in Dark Thule, Aether, right there.
Yes.
He is or was in the Shadow Order, and they were.
Yeah, I don't know if I remember the Shadow Order.
They were really cool.
Yeah.
Sounds new wave.
Raised
It
the
does.
banners.
It sounds like Clan of Zemox or something.
Yeah, the name's not great. But they released their 2001 album reissue on Autist Tilly Records. That tells you how much I like them. Autist Tilly is
Autistic record.
Banners.
so good.
It looks pretty cool. The way the font isn't great, but the album art
Check the
is kind
check
of
the
cool.
reissue from 2004.
All right, let me take a look here.
It's a bit more.
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah, maybe I have heard this. This one kind of looks like that Nocturnity album.
Yes. Yeah, it's very Nocturnity for sure.
Are either of you guys Nocturnity enjoyers?
I am.
What do you think of them? What do you make of that band? Because I feel like it's always been a little bit challenging for me to get into that music, just because it is. I don't know. It's a slow burn. It feels like, but I feel like I always assumed, just because of the way the album art looked, that there's definitely like substance there.
Yeah,
That's almost like the night on it, right?
Yeah, all the albums have the night on it.
Yeah, they kind of all do. It's all
Yeah.
what's his name? Is it Is Cal Drogo the guy behind? Anyways, he actually does blacksmithing, like he does chainmail and that sort of thing. So I'm pretty sure it's all his own armor that he's made on those. But I really like Onyx. There's one song in particular, Secret Ira the Key.
Yeah.
That one just blows me away every time I listen to it. The drums, and it's like a very typical thing to say, but I actually like picture it when I listen to this album. The drums just sound like hooves hitting the ground. It's awesome. I have not heard the last album though, Harps of the Ancient Temple.
I think that's where I first found these guys. I think I saw that in like a fanzine or something.
Yeah, so the drums sound like this.
Monty Python.
Is that your snare?
No, that was when I went to Scotland. They sold coconut shells to make the noise from Monty Python.
And you just happen to have that handy, huh?
Yep, little souvenir.
Very cool.
You know,
very cool.
one thing that Nocturnity never like panned out on is Demon from Limbonic Art joined on vocals, but I don't think they ever actually did much with him. I think he did like an EP that he was on vocals, but the album that came out in 15, Harps of the Ancient Temples, he wasn't the vocalist on that. So I don't know. I wish they would do a full album with him on vocals. He's a great vocalist.
It's the night of the demon.
Spirits run high. I sent that. I don't know if Fred saw it, but I sent yesterday that AI clip of Louis Armstrong in his room.
Yeah.
Did you see what he said? He goes, "I got a fart again."
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't real. But the room that he's in, I said, I love that aesthetic. Paul says, old man room. And that is the way I've been describing that aesthetic to myself. Because I never really have anybody to talk to about this.
Well,
But we kind of got
like
the conversation started.
Yeah, it looks like they just had a likeness of your room and then made that.
No, but there's
like all
like,
the records there made out of
I've
like
seen
wood.
it. I've seen it a few times in like, honestly, you see it in like 90s TV shows a lot, or you see it in like old pictures of houses with like wood grain and stuff like from the 80s. It's kind of an 80s, 90s old school look. I don't exactly know how. There's probably, yeah, it probably has a lot to do with wood, right? Wooden shelves and things.
Yeah.
And you have to have the orange lighting too. I think that's important. Because a lot of people now, a lot of people nowadays have like those little LED lights that go around the room. You know what I'm talking about? Those like little
Oh yeah.
little
But
like
they have it
Christmas
like
light looking things.
behind the TV and changes colors.
Yeah. I feel like that used to be a thing with like teenage girls, and then it kind of went into like gamers. That's the way gamers set up their room with those fucking LED lights.
Oh yeah, they have like their keyboards glowing too.
Yeah. I don't know what your guys' rooms look like, so if I insult you, you know, my bad. But I don't like that look. I think it's a quite feminine, gay look for a man's room to have those little lights in the corners. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't mind some accent lights. I don't think. You know what I prefer?
Paul, do you have those
like,
lights in your room?
No, I just have like a light strip and then the ceiling light.
Ceiling light.
I don't think Dan's impressed by the strip light.
I don't even know what a strip light is.
It's like literally just a light. It's like,
Literally just a light.
yeah. Let's take a picture.
Yeah, because I have just two little orange lamps that give off the cozy light, not the white light. The white light makes you want to kill yourself. The orange light makes you want to kind of relax.
Oh, is that why I feel like that?
Do you have white lights in your room, or do you have like orange lights? Because I feel like they don't sell orange lights much anymore. You know what I mean? Fred, do you kind of
Oh,
know what I'm talking about? The
with
orange light,
LED,
white light debate.
with LED, you can just switch from whatever color you want, right?
I suppose so, but it's not quite the same. There's like it's almost too bright.
Yeah, this
It's
is
like too
very clinical.
it's clinical. It's too much. I'm lucky enough to have the I don't know what you call them, but the old school orange lights. Um yeah, they changed the street lights a lot too. It's like the street lights were orange. It was like a nice glow, and now they're like white. You can see everything, and it's just like, yeah, it is too clinical. It's too I don't know. I don't like it. I try to I don't even know how to explain this aesthetic, but it's like it's not quite um like cabin, because some guys like that look, the cabin look or
Oh
something.
yeah, yeah.
It's not quite that. It's more like I don't even know, man. Like an 80s living room or something.
Yeah, because cabin is like the walls are fucking wood, but with this, it's like the not like furniture, but like storage units are like wood, and like
Storage
there's like
units are wood.
nightstands and lamps are a big thing too.
I feel like having a lot of stuff kind of helps with that aesthetic too. Like having a big collection of like DVDs and books and CDs. Like I have a bit of everything. So
Yeah,
and like like little fucking trinkets like glasses and fucking shit like that. That little Viet Cong hat that I have.
Well, sitting where I am right now, I'm staring right at my bookshelves and um, my Nintendo games. So it's it's our basement. It works.
It almost does feel like if you went back in time to like the early 2000s or the 90s or the 80s, and there was like a guy in his 40s or probably a guy in his 50s living on his own, his room would probably look something like mine. That's the feel I go for, I guess. Yeah, it's hard to find. So every once in a while, I'll try to find that aesthetic, and like I see it randomly sometimes. I'm like, nice. That's where the Louis Armstrong thing came from. Like, there it is. It's captured. Another one of these has been captured, because it's hard to find this exact aesthetic. I feel like people have a hard time decorating their houses or decorating their rooms, like in a way that I personally like.
should
Well,
become a interior designer.
Do people actually get paid for doing something like that? I feel like that's
oh yeah.
Yeah, you just get like the budget from the person, and then you know pick out the furniture and layout of a room.
it feels like the most unprofessional job of all time, isn't it? Just like I like this. Do you like this? Do you want me to help you put your
Well,
house
yeah,
together?
like you said, there's people who think that these lights going around are like good taste, where they just see
Bad
that
taste.
happening
It's in bad
around.
taste.
Yeah, they just see that around and they're like, "Oh, I want that," versus like having a room with personality, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, people just see that on the internet. They're like, my favorite streamer has his look at his gamer chair.
Yeah.
I don't know why I hate the gamer chair. The gamer chair looks stupid. It looks very childish, I think.
I have a gamer chair.
Are you in a gamer chair?
Not currently, but I have
Oh.
one.
Well,
In
like I said,
fairness, I got it for free to
like I
replace
said,
my
I
old
don't know
office
what your
chair.
guys. I don't know everything that's in your guys' house. I'm just giving my little opinion. You don't have to take my opinion so seriously.
No, but I'll tell you why I have it though.
I
My
thought you were gonna. I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what. My office chair was crapping out. All the cushions were ripping, and I
Mhm.
was looking for a new one. And I got to a garage sale that was literally down the street from me, and and they had a gamer chair, and it was in brand new shape. I'm like, how much for this? And they're like, you can just take it. I'm like, all right, and I just rolled it back to my house, and now I have a new chair.
I
Yeah.
feel like in California where we live, the gamer chair is to me it almost feels like a very beaner thing. It almost feels like you just kind of get furniture from like offer up or something, and it's just like anything. Oh, it's like, oh, gamer chair, $20, I'll take it. So your kid has a fucking gamer chair and just like, it's like noodles on the floor or something.
I think what annoys me is seeing gamer chairs in people's live streams. Like, if you have a gamer chair, great. And you're comfortable, that's fine. I feel like they have certain gamer chairs for looks. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just how I feel about it.
Paul, you're a gamer, right?
Of course.
What games are gamers playing nowadays? Because I've been playing Monkey Ball a little bit, but that's not really a gamer game. That's just like a casual.
Damn, that game's hard as hell.
It is, dude. I'm on like World 4. Oh my god, one of the levels is so fucking hard, and it is hard.
Yeah.
But I like those little marble like pinball, whatever you want to call it, kind of games.
Yeah, the camera angles on that shit is like so hard to control.
The one I'm stuck on right now, it's World 4 when you're inside of a whale. And Fred, do you know what Monkey Ball is?
I feel it sounds familiar. I can't picture it though. Hang on, let me Google
One
it.
of those like marble games where you basically just control a marble on a course and get to the goal.
Oh shit! Yeah, I remember this.
It's like that.
Yeah, this is hard as hell.
So I love games like that though. They're so satisfying when you actually beat the end. But one of them, oh man, I've been stuck on it since I think last weekend. One level. But what the one I'm stuck at is like, there's these like bumper things that like shoot you straight up, and you're supposed to shoot straight up this like wooden, looks like a tree. So you shoot straight up this tree, and you're supposed to randomly kind of get into the goal. That's way at the top, and you either just kind of, it shoots you up and then you go flying out of the screen, or it shoots you up and you have to like try to make the monkey fucking land into the goal. But most of the time you just fly off the screen, and it is, God, it's so hard. Like you can't see. It's hard to. You can't really see where you're going when you're going straight up. And then you can do slow motion mode, but still, it's still fucking hard.
Yeah, but I don't know what people are playing right now. There's like, I don't know if it's old already, but the Oblivion remaster from Elder Scrolls, and then there's like the new Doom game that came out, Dark Ages.
Doom game, huh?
What else?
I imagine a remake of a Doom game would be cool nowadays. Like, it looks like that would be something that was cool.
Yeah, when they did the original reboot, that was really cool, but then there was a game after that I didn't really care too much for, and then this is like the third hack at it. So
when was the first one that was remade? Like, so
2016.
what was the original one? The original one was for probably a few different consoles, right? Because I have one. It's the red cartridge for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And it's pretty hard. It's still pretty hard.
Yeah.
But it's almost like games like that to me are too hard, and it's like not satisfying because it's like, what do you even do? It's like, I give up. Was that it? My fun was 10 minutes. Is that it?
I don't think, for me, I don't think the Doom games were too hard. Like, if you're talking about like the Ninja Gaidens and the Contras of the world,
Oh yeah.
different story. Like fucking first level, you're annihilated every time. But Doom, I found the difficulty level on that to be reasonable.
Yeah, and you can like raise up the levels, right, when you're playing those games.
Yeah, that too. I have do I have Doom 64? I don't remember.
Was it Doom 64?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Did they up the graphics at all? I'm sure they did, right?
They did a bit.
Yeah, a little bit. It doesn't. It still doesn't look that good. It kind of looks
No.
like shit.
No, they didn't change the graphics much at all. But
Huh.
yeah, I have Doom 64, and it was the SNES version that I didn't have. But I had the original Doom and Doom 2 for PC. That was fun.
Are you gaming? Are you gaming at all these days, Fred?
I mean, not a lot. I don't really have the time to sit down and play a game. I have some games on my phone, but it doesn't really count for much. But
I would say that counts.
All right. I mean, I've got Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go. All right. I don't know how to play Pokemon Go. I never played it.
It's like a sandbox game. You just click on Pokemon and throw a ball at it and catch it, and that's the entire game.
That's it? You don't battle them?
You can battle them, but there's no end game to it. Like you can keep
It's
leveling.
just like, it's like geocaching where you just find a thing.
Yeah, kinda.
Huh. What do you call that? You ever heard of that, Fred? Geocaching? Does everybody know what that is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
Where you just find like stuff in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah, you just like go on the coordinates and then you can solve something
I've been
or
on,
just
I've
find
been
it.
on hikes and found geocaches. I wasn't looking for them, but I found them. Just
What
like
did you
wedged
find?
in like a tree trunk. I don't remember what was in it. It had I think it had coordinates for the next geocache and like
Yeah, when you're
I
almost
think
there.
I think it had like a granola bar and like bits of string in it or something. I
A
don't
granola bar, nice.
Kill yourself with a string.
know.
Granola bar and some string. It's almost like the SpongeBob thing. It's like he goes, SpongeBob, this is a paperclip and a piece of string. He goes, no, it's not. This is your tail. Found something pretty cool a long time ago by accident. Hiking, yeah, like in a weird area in Turnbull. I found I think it was like 4 discs. It was a 4 disc audiobook of one of the Lord of the Rings. I'm not sure which one.
Oh, wow.
I think it's the one with where Gandalf says "You shall not pass." It was that one, the first one, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Whatever that movie was. Yeah, it's the audiobook. Found the audiobook. I don't have it anymore. I don't know what happened to it.
That was fuck. What's the name of the first book? Fellowship of the Ring. That's it.
Fellowship of the
Fellowship.
bada boom, bada bing.
How did I blank out on that?
The Bling Ring, starring Emma Watson. Yeah. How was your guys' weekend? What did you guys do?
Freddie?
Not a ton. Like I was off this past week because my kid's daycare was closed for maintenance. So it was mostly keeping my kid entertained. Went to a movie. Went to the zoo.
You went to a
That's-
movie?
I did go to a movie,
What movie?
but like a kid's movie. Bad Guys 2.
Is that the one with the fox lady?
That's the one. Yep.
Oh, okay. I remember seeing memes of that and stuff. It was like the guy fox and the girl fox, and it said like the chick I pulled by being autistic or something like that.
What?
Or something like that. All right, Bad
All right.
Guys too. Was that all right? That seems kind of slightly funny.
Yeah, it was actually pretty funny. Like it's there's adult humor snuck in there, so
Oh
it
shit!
kept me entertained.
When Fred saw the adult humor, he went, "Oh shit!"
Oh damn!
You went to the zoo?
Yeah, we have a zoo pass. Like we have
Oink oink zoo pals.
I don't know, pass, not pals.
No, I know. That was a product in America. They were like plates that looked like animals, and they shaped them in a way so you could like have sauce, like different little.
You could separate your foods.
Compartmentalized. Yeah, you could separate your food. The plates were called Zoo Pals. And that's how the commercial went. It went oink oink Zoo Pals. Zoo Pals make eating fun.
Definitely not something I know about, but yeah, the zoo is about 10 minutes drive from our house, so
Huh?
getting a year's pass to the zoo is actually pretty.
Is it all just Canadian animals like moose and stuff? Marmosets?
No, so there's actually a Canadian exhibit at the zoo, which, I mean, sure, has like wolves and moose and stuff, but it also has like shit you'll just see everywhere, like raccoons. I'm like, why is there a raccoon exhibit? I just look at my
Well, 'cause,
backyard
I mean,
every
it's-
given night.
I don't know how it is over there, but here it's slightly rare to see raccoons. We don't see
Oh yeah,
raccoons
no,
that
it's
often.
not rare here. Like if I take my dogs for a walk out tonight, I will see a raccoon.
Do you guys have coyotes?
We do. I last saw one 2 weeks ago.
So what else?
Yep.
What else did you get up to this weekend?
But and I was going to tell you though, but the Canadian exhibit, the way the zoo is laid out, you have the African area, the Australasian, all that stuff. But the Canadian exhibit is like down a massive slope, and it's like an hour journey there and back. And all you see is like a moose, three wolves, and a raccoon. You're like, what the hell was that?
It's an hour to walk to that exhibit.
Yeah, no, sorry, it's an hour there and back. So it's like a half-hour walk, and the walk back is all uphill,
Just for that exhibit.
just for the Canadian exhibit.
Why is it
And
so
like,
far? How big is the zoo if it's that fucking far?
oh, it's a big zoo. It's the Toronto Zoo, so it's not a small one.
I'm gonna Google that. The Toronto Zoo.
I'm googling the same thing.
Okay, let's see. You have your rhinos and your hippos and your peacocks.
The Toronto
Looks like a
Zoo
whale-
is
There, it looks like there's a
700.
whale carcass in one of the in one of the pins.
There is. There's like a fake whale carcass that's life size in the.
What lives in the teepees? I see there's teepees here.
Nothing. It's just an
Nothing
exhibit.
lives in the teepees. Just teepees.
Here, the Toronto Zoo is 710 acres.
Interesting.
It's damn big.
It's did up pretty good. They even have a swamp in there. There's a swamp in there. You have the beautiful pandas.
Alright, we're just adding more and more to when we visit Fred. We got the movies, and then now he's gonna take it to the zoo.
Right,
They
right.
don't-
This is
they don't
we're gonna
currently
relive
have
this
pandas.
weekend.
They also don't currently have any elephants
Let's see. What the hell
or
is this
Komodo
thing?
dragons. The last Komodo dragon died in 24. I think another one's gonna arrive soon.
Are there certain animals that that are not allowed in the zoo? Because I feel like you always kind of see the same animals in the zoo. There's never like any weird ones. Where you
Oh,
go,
no,
what the
there's-
fuck is that?
There's plenty of weird ones. They're just not as well known. Like, but they're usually like, if you want to see the weird animals, you have to go into the pavilions, and they're usually in like the smaller like aquariums or terrariums. That's where you'll find the weird shit.
Yeah, I want
But-
to see some weird sea creatures, and I want to see all the different types of lemurs. 'Cause there's a lot
Yeah,
of
because I mean, like
strange
all
lemurs.
all the big outdoor animals, you've probably seen them before, like a giraffe or a rhino or a hippo. Like
I
those are
wonder
the
if there are
big
any
outdoor
big
ones, right?
animals. I wonder if there are any big animals out there that we haven't discovered. Big ones.
Like discovered.
Yeah, that we haven't discovered because there's a lot of animals we haven't
I
discovered.
mean-
But I mean, they're all small. I want to know if there's any big ones, like big
I
ones.
guess depends how big you mean, but like the
Let's say
bottom of the
about
ocean.
as big as a tiger.
I mean, maybe at the bottom of the ocean, a lot of shit down there is not well known.
Yeah, but they discover new stuff at the bottom of the ocean all the time, and I feel like it's all small. It's all like little.
It's just
It's
all
like-
AI.
It's all either AI or
AI.
it's like sea cucumbers and like jellyfish. It's like a million different species of jellyfish.
Well, I mean, there's a huge amount of pressure down there, right?
I want to see
So-
a fucking apex predator.
I mean, the apex predator might just be tiny. A tiny apex.
Interesting, interesting. What about you, Paulus? What'd you do this weekend?
Nothing really.
You had to have done something.
mm,
You didn't just stare at the ceiling. Don't tell me that.
Well,
I was hypnotized by my white light, and yeah, I didn't do
The
anything.
weekend was just a blur.
Oh, you know what? I saw a screamo band, Bonavere, on Friday. Yeah, Friday, and met up with remember Jason?
Jason who? Get bent?
Yeah,
Yeah.
met up with him there, and all the
guys
bands
make out?
had like shit. No, But we
You're supposed
just
to say yes.
I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh shit. Oh, don't make me laugh too much. My stitches are about to pop out.
Yeah, you can't emote.
I can't emote. I can a little tiny bit, not much.
Um, let's see what else. Yeah, all the bands had like shitty equipment. Like they were just using some house stuff, and they're just cutting out and kind of like sucked out the experience. But the last band, played through it well, and very good. They haven't played a show since like 2012 or something, and then they had a new band that came out of the ashes of that one in 2016 that played some shows. So I caught that one, but I always liked this original band, Bonavere. So that was great to see them.
What kind of crowd? Gen Zers?
Yeah, just dumb, like people who don't even know the band. They just saw that the promoter put on a show and then they went.
When I imagine shows like that, I imagine uh, big old baggy pants and beanies and septum rings and like flannel jackets.
Yeah, quite a few of those, and
What does that look? What is that supposed to be?
I don't know.
Is that just like in general alternative?
Yeah, I think it's people who call themselves alt.
Yeah,
General
they're like no,
dorky.
they're like I'm not goth, I'm not metal, I'm not punk, I'm alt. I'm alt, Dad. Get used to it.
They're like, all right, yeah.
Alt right?
No, just alt.
I see, I see.
Oh, and I finished Better Call
Oh.
Saul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Howie, man. Poor Nacho.
Nacho. Yeah, he I like how they pick up Hector and he's like shooting him.
Yeah, just like shoot him in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I forget
So-
how
so you-
how
you ended
annoying
up
Hector
liking-
gets.
You you thought Hector was annoying?
I forget how annoying he gets, like in Breaking Bad, where he's just like ding 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 ding.
I think this was kind of a meme too when Hector goes into Los Pollos Hermanos and he's looking for Gus. He's like, I need to see your balls. Sounds like he says, I need to see your balls.
Yeah. Yeah, I ended up liking it. It was just like a real big, slow burn where, almost like Grand Theft Auto, where all these separate stories just like converge in the end. But it seemed like there was only the jaw dropping moments when the select few characters died.
Well,
And,
that's what makes it jaw dropping because it's not like
yeah, it's happening.
it's not like you get it all the time. You get it on certain very special occasions.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I like Kim Wexler as a character. She's a good character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's good.
And I kind of like Lalo too. He's like a really nice nice like psychopath. It's like, nah,
I liked Howard a lot. His character was
And
really
he's like
well
making
played.
tacos and shit.
Oh yeah, when he like escaped from his assassination, that was cool. He was just like killing everybody.
Would you say Fred Howard?
Yeah, I really liked Howard. His character was. I felt bad for him because
Yeah.
like, almost every character that gets some sort of comeuppance had it coming, but he really had no horse in the game. He was just a bystander.
I like that Howard almost talked like a robot. He had an interesting way of speaking.
Kim.
Yeah, Kim. It's like, watch your step, Kim. With like no emotion.
I like that.
I remember.
The interrogation between, well, not interrogation, but the cross-examination when Kim is talking to Howard, and he's saying how they didn't want to hire Jimmy because they were afraid of nepotism, and she's like, "Huh? What's the other Hamlin for?" My father. That was funny.
Yeah.
It was there I don't know if it was I saw it on some Instagram page, but it was a video. It was a real video. It was Howard laying in a bed with like like a shitload of stuffed animals like all around him, and he opens his eyes. He goes, "It's Monday. Better call Saul Day." I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, but now I started watching Breaking Bad. It just gets you teed up to watch that.
Yeah, yeah.
You've watched
You
Breaking
kinda
Bad
have
before, though,
to.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how many times I've gone back and forth with those two shows, but I'm good. I'm good now. I've done this recently.
You've got
already.
your fill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know exactly. I know exactly where and when and what happens. I know lines. I know it. I
Yeah, I
think
think
everyone's really like that nowadays. But hey, it was a good show. What do you want?
yeah, I haven't watched it since it finished, so
Oh wow, that was a long time ago.
yeah. And I'm not really a rewatcher. I'm just like, alright, I finished
I'm
it,
sort of a
I'm good.
rewatcher sometimes. I'm rewatching Bottom. I think I found a sample. I won't say what it is, but I'll show you.
Acres of Woman. that one, that one or
Which
the
one?
where he's all imagine the acres of women and they're not getting and they're basically they're like not fucking because their blokes are busy. It's like just call up Richie, I'll be right there.
Oh, Richie.
Yeah. There's a
It's
funny
not.
one too, where I think they're at the bar, you know, the one where they're like buying condoms.
That was the first one.
Yeah, and then they go. I think it's like they're like, "Oh, lesbians." He's like, "Just call me up. I'll kill you."
I found one I liked, but yeah, maybe we can we'll debate on that. I suppose we'll come to a consensus with the Bottom sample
I watched a documentary on them today.
on Bottom.
Yeah, it's called "Bottom Exposed," and yeah, I guess they just. Well, do you remember you watched the Drop Dead Fred or whatever?
Yes.
So
Excuse me.
apparently Rick Mail was like in some like ATV accident, like he just like fell off a thing and he ended up being in a coma for like 5 days,
Mhm.
and something was going on with his head where he just like wasn't the same person, and
Huh.
he just like wasn't, you know, as funny as he was. And the guy, I forget his actual name, but Eddie,
Abe. His name
yeah,
is Abe.
yeah, he was like, oh yeah, he's just like harder to work with, and like I guess he was like becoming very forgetful and shit. And
Was that during Bottom?
no, so it was like after, because during the middle of the second and third season, they would start doing like tours, and they would just be having a basically a two-man play show of like the Bottom characters going about and not being restricted by like the TV like censorship, so they're like, you know, cussing and being more like sexually deviant and stuff like that, just for the two of them for like hours on stage. And it was like between there and making, or yeah, between there and like making the season 3 of Bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came out with like some movie that I watched today that was just like terrible. I don't know if you'd like it. It's
I
called
might have seen it.
Guest House Paradiso.
Guest House Paradisi in 1999.
Yeah, it's like the same characters, Richie and Eddie,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was like, I don't know. They just gave him so much like freedom, and it just like, because a lot of Bottom was like not really plot driven. It was just more about like the characters and their
Gags
personalities
and
going
jokes
about
and, like,
shit.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like just being slapstick and, you know, having funny dialogue. But in this one, it was just like really missing like its soul. It just seemed like I don't know, just like not like, there's a couple things that made me laugh. Like, do you know the guy Simon Pegg from like Shaun of the
Yeah.
Dead? Like, he's in there.
Yeah.
There's like
Oh,
a
really?
one, yeah. He just plays like this straight guy with his family and not really a comedy bit.
Huh.
But there's there's like a part in the movie where there's like he basically has this like video of blackmailing Rick because or Richie because he went to their hotel like security surveillance thing and he got a tape because he found out that he like stole something, and then he like takes it back to his room, and then Richie and Eddie like take a fishing pole and a hook and they put it through the ceiling of his room, and then they end up hooking onto Simon Pegg's nipple ring, and then and then he's just like reeling him in, and then he's just like hitting the ceiling while they like try to grab the tape and shit. So that one made me kind of laugh, but the rest of it,
funny.
the rest of it was like, Did you watch it before?
No, I've never seen that one. I saw something with Rick Mail. It was Rick Mail and fucking Tim Burton's wife, whatever movie that was. Shows her boobs in the beginning. I don't remember what the hell that movie was
I
called.
forget that he was in Harry Potter too.
Rick Mail was in Harry Potter?
Yeah.
He's a ghost? I don't remember this at all. He's a ghost.
Yeah.
Okay? No, I don't recall this.
Yeah, I was like trying to look up the movie because I ended up finding it on like I think like some Russian upload or something on like B something website.
Wait, so when did his ATV accident happen? His Drop Dead Fred was 91.
Was
it
it?
before or after that?
Oh, I thought it was like 99 or something.
No, Drop Dead Fred's from 91.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it was like 97, 98 or something that happened.
Oh, was it?
Let's
Okay,
see.
because Guest House is 99, and I think Bottom ended in like 96. I think.
Yeah, 98.
What happened in 98?
Suffered 2 brain hemorrhages and a fractured skull.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and I guess he had to take like a ton of like medicine and had like epilepsy and experienced memory problems.
Yeah, because he died really young.
Yeah, he died
not
like I think he was like 57 or something. Oh no, 56.
Which is, I mean, that's relatively young.
Yeah, because that was like 2014.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, watch the movie, but don't expect, that they're going to be getting the same fire as Bottom 1, 2, 3 was.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Bottom. I liked Bottom 1, 2, 3. The first 3 seasons, you mean?
Yeah.
What happens after that?
Well, that's when they start going on their tours, and those are funny. But then they get kind of stretch it thin after this movie.
I kind of noticed that like the first season is on fire, and then at some point, yeah, it gets kind of like there was too many episodes, I think, and that was like what was perfect about the young ones. I think there was only 12 episodes of the young ones, which it kept it from getting stale.
Yeah, I
And
think
then they
there's
had
like
some other
18.
Yeah, then they had some other show called Filthy Rich and Cat Flap. It's the same guys. one of the other dudes from the young ones, and that only had like 6 episodes. So you kind of get these like stories that wrap up pretty easily.
I want to watch
British comedies go.
what's it called? The New Statement or Statesman. It's just like a Rick Mail show.
Show. The New States.
Oh yeah, it's on Prime. It's from '87.
Let's see.
I guess he's just like some government agent.
He's done a bunch of stuff I've never seen. I've never seen this or heard about this. Interesting.
Yeah, I saw like a little clip of it, maybe like 10 seconds or something, and he was kind of acting the same, so.
Okay, yeah, because I know there was like he did that Filthy Rich show before Bottom, and I guess there's New Statesman comes out after the Young Ones, which is interesting. I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, I want to watch that.
Huh. I'll watch this too. Honestly, I kind of get I kind of get a feel for these kinds of things when it comes to like YouTube comments. Like, what do people say about this? Underrated sitcoms. Rick Mel's the best. At being a slimy scumbag. Mel's a genius.
Yeah, because I was thinking about the sample because that's why I kind of went in this rabbit hole. I was like,
Yeah, I was
oh,
doing the same thing.
maybe you haven't picked anything yet, and then I just saw that there was like a documentary and
Yeah, keep a few in mind because I have one in mind. So we'll pick one.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I might just use my practice amp for a tone because that Raph's the amp that I'm using now is just like what the fuck, mud, bunch of mud. It's really, I'm gonna have to get a new one once we, or you know what, it might be the tuning is too low
Yeah, I wonder
for
how it'd
for that
sound
thing.
with what you guys are gonna do for the next stuff.
Shit, well, we're gonna tune way up B, so yeah, we'll see. Um, I watched two dumb movies this weekend. One was well, they were both pretty enjoyable. Uh, One I saw scrolling through YouTube on the free section. It was called Stealing Harvard, I think was the name of the movie. Yeah,
Why does it sound
Stealing
familiar?
Harvard from 2002. Look at the poster and you'll recognize everyone in the poster. It is Tom Green, Jason Lee, and
Oh yeah.
what's her name? Leslie
Leslie
Mann, I
Man.
think is her name. Yeah, that was decent. That was a decent movie. Uh, the old guy from Step Brothers is in it. Plays a strange character. I don't even want to get into like what the movie's about, but it's Tom Green's in it. I mean, so and Jason Lee, so you can kind of maybe understand what to expect. It was decent though. It was decent. I suppose I would recommend if you like Tom Green at all. Or Jason Lee. I forgot Jason Lee
Mm.
was My Name is Earl. Did you ever see that show?
Nah, I just seen it
Yes.
on here in passing, but never watched it from beginning to end.
It's worth
I
watching from beginning to end. It's quite funny.
I'd seen a couple episodes ages ago. It's actually good.
Yeah, it's very good. It's actually quite good. Would
Hmm.
recommend My Name is Earl because I was the same way for up until like a few years ago because I would just see it on sometimes and I'd be like I was thinking like I want to watch this. This looks this looks like a cool show, and yeah, it's cool.
I remember
And then
Damien
I
really
watched
liked it.
I remember talking to Damien about it. It's almost like Eastbound and Down. I think I watched them back to back or something because they kind of remind me of like the same sort, like maybe not the same type of humor, but the same type of person would enjoy the shows.
Mm.
It's like really stupid comedy, but like the story is kind of you get invested in it.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then I watch Ernest Goes to School, which is just really stupid, but hey, I got a kick out of it anyways. And
That
then
is like legendarily stupid though.
yes. And then I spent a lot of money on food this weekend. I just ate all weekend. I had like tacos Baja and Papa John's and um I don't even remember what else. Oh, I had like a salmon bowl. I just ate all weekend. I just spent all my money on food.
Oh, salmon bowl.
Salmon miso bowl. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah.
Smart meals.
And then I was doing okay. I was doing okay with the head wound situation. And then I woke up on Saturday and like my face is swollen. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like the left side of my face, I look like Two-Face. The right side, it's me. The left side looks like some fat kid. It doesn't look like me. And I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like looking in the mirror and it's not me. Like that doesn't even look like me.
That's funny.
And I had to go to the doctor. I'm like, I went to back to urgent care. I'm like, what the fuck is this? They're like, oh, like blood is going down into your eye. It's like it's normal. You're gonna get a black eye. I'm like, okay. So I kind of have like a little bit of a black eye. The swelling went down, but Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, no kidding. Waking up and seeing that, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm like, who am I? I'm like, I'm retarded.
I'm regarded.
Honestly, I kind of it looked like I looked like Rocky Dennis from Mask. Look all fucked up. My
Shit.
dad's like, you look like the Elephant Man,
Oh, damn.
like all lumpy and shit.
Damn, Dave roasting you?
Yeah, stop Fox, stop roasting me.
Boom roasted.
Roasted. Yeah. We probably don't have time to go into our listenings. I don't think it's already getting late. You guys want to go to break?
I'm just gonna call out that the Capharnaum album, Reality Only Fantasized, is such a good album. Oh my god. I've been listening to it the last few days.
Okay, okay. Yeah, let me see if I can do any quick shout outs. Fred, you can keep going shout outs. I'm going to just look through this list real quick.
Well, the other one I've been listening to a lot is a split between Diablerie and Shadowcraft. And especially the Shadowcraft side is fantastic. They're a Greek band. And they have an album that was released on a now dead label that I'd like to find a copy of. But it's not particularly evident where to find it. So that's what my new lookout is for.
I can shout out Decomposing Serenity, Gore Grind from Belgium.
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
they're cool.
They are cool. I don't like their album covers though. All their album art pictures like dolls, like haunted dolls, and I don't like that. But their music is interesting. You know, the Lymphatic Phlegm guys were like repping their t-shirts. So yeah, Decomposing Serenity. Forefather I listened to. That was pretty good. You ever hear that kind of folky black metal?
Yeah, I picked up I think Ours is the Kingdom. I don't know, about a year ago. No, not even, like 6-7 months ago. And yeah, they're freaking great. They're very overlooked, especially for a band that was on, weren't they on like Candlelight? You'd think they get more attention than they do.
Yeah, they have sections that sound like Blood Revolt, where it's like these super clean kind of heroic power metal vocals over this like just blasting Norse core. It's like what?
Yeah.
Doesn't it's a it almost seems like bands would do that as in the folk metal genre, but they kind of don't.
Yeah. But no, for sure, fantastic band. Doesn't get enough love.
Also listen to Vibrion from Argentina, their album Diseased from
Oh
95.
yeah.
That's a good one. That has the like kind of xenomorphic looking monster on it. And I think that's
It's got a
one of the
very,
vocalists of Enthroned. It's like groovy thrash death.
Yeah, the drumming on that album is really weird. I just remember the
groovy?
drumming being like very stop go, but in a weird way. I don't know. It's been a while since I listened to Disease, but I remember the drumming being bizarre.
So listen to Little Hyman Holocaust this weekend. Pretty nice stuff. Good groovy gore grind. Kind of romper propish. I think it might have somebody from Romper Prop in it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anything from you, Paul? You want to shout out?
Nah, I think it just goes into spoilers. What I've been listening to. Well, you guys already
Spoilers?
know my idea,
Uh,
my episode
Yes, I
idea. I was just listening to a lot of that.
Ah, yes.
Episode idea. Oh yeah. Right. I had to think about that for a second. Okay, so
Yeah,
break time.
A lot of polka.
Mm-hmm. All right. Break.
Very enthusiastic.
Brit Barbie. Period I, period 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 I, period
All right, we're back, and
Fred's eating zoodles.
Did you say we're black?
Yeah, we are black. What of it?
Slip of the tongue. I was
Yeah,
just
maybe
copying
Zoodles.
Rob.
What of it?
You're eating zoodles.
Yeah.
Can you tell the Americans out there what that is? Because nobody knows what that is.
Which is crazy to me because I always assumed it was American in origin, but no, apparently not.
Hell no.
It's yeah, it's basically SpaghettiOs, but the pasta are in the shape of zoo animals.
You get the name?
Hence
Zoodles.
zoodles. Yeah.
Zoo noodles. Zoodles.
Fred, sing the theme song.
There isn't one.
Paul made up a theme song. He goes,
Yeah, there's only the one that you made up.
Paul
So,
goes,
Paul, you sing it.
zoodles, zoodles. He made up a theme song.
Yeah. That sounds like a Paul thing.
This guy's fucking insane. I
Yeah,
never met
you can't
anybody
trust
so
him.
fucking insane in my life.
I'm a death metal lunatic. What can I say?
Yeah, guy's a lunatic of God's creation over here.
Deicide.
I'm such a maniac that I'm eating yogurt with berries in it.
Oh.
What are you,
Granola
retarded?
What's more retarded, eating yogurt with berries in it or eating zoodles? Almost opened my stitches up again.
I was gonna bust a stitch.
Ow! I'm gonna butt a nut. Better than busting your stitches up.
Better than busting a nut.
I forgot. You know what else aired this weekend? The new Sam Hyde show. It was starring Nick Fuentes. And they were talking about
Yeah, I saw that.
all
American
the-
First.
America First. There's actually a longer version on MDE.com on Sam's website. It's like a whole nother hour. People on YouTube are like, that's it? And I said the same thing. I'm like, that's it? And then I came to discover today, oh, there's an hour more of the show. They were talking about sort of the connections between the CIA and like Ivy League schools and like conservative talking guys, pundits and things like that. Very interesting rabbit hole to go down. It's kind of crazy what goes on there. I mean, you can listen to that. I feel like I'd like you to hear that, Paul. it's interesting. Watch it on the website. Watch the full one.
Is it free?
It's free. It's free.
Price is right.
Yeah, it is free on the site.
Mm.
Okay. What? I can't believe you watch Rick Mail stuff. That's crazy. Anyhow, what's on the thumbnail
really
today? I put the gourmet guy from the Paper Mario RPG, and what that is it's a very fat shy guy who you have to get past him to like get to a switch or something, but you have to feed him cake. You have to feed him something he wants, and you can like give him items and he'll just spit them out, but you have to go and like put ingredients together with the baker Toad, and she gives him a cake, and then he goes insane and he like jumps in the air, and he gets out of your way. And then I also put Eddie from Ed, Ed and Eddie, one of the first episodes when he's interrogating Johnny, and Johnny's sitting there about to piss his pants, and it shows Eddie like in the corner of a dark room wearing shades, and he's smiling. It looks like a maniac. Somebody said he looks like Jack Nicholson, which is kind of funny. And then I don't know. I saw a version of the album we're covering tonight that the nipples are showing, but then there's other versions on YouTube that are censored. So I went ahead and I censored them with two little heads of characters. So on the left nipple I put, or the right nipple I put that shyster like merchant character from Star Wars Episode 1. He's like, what do you think you're Jedi waving your hand around like that? I need money. That guy, I put that guy. Whatever his name is, he has a little trunk.
Sabula?
And then on the left, no, not Sabulba. I don't remember what his name is. He's that little blue flying guy. He owns Anakin. That guy. Whatever his name is.
Watto.
It was like
Guado or something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't mind. Yeah, so I put that guy, and then I put on the left nipple a picture of Austin. I don't want to say his last name, but you remember Cowboy from high school? They call me Cowboy. You know that picture of him smoking that giant joint?
I
I
got
put
the
that's the picture.
COVID.
I got the COVID. I'm a hippie now. They call me Cowboy. He got punched in the face for telling a big Mexican, to participate during gym time. They were playing soccer or something, and this Mexican kid punched him in the face. Or Austin was like, "Are you even gonna try?" And this giant Mexican like punched him in the face, and then he came to school, or he came to class crying. Um, and then I remember he got into an argument with a girl in our Spanish class, and they both had each other by the hair. They were like pulling each other's hair.
Chad
Um,
Austin.
Chad Austin fighting with Mexican women. Okay, very good. I'm sure he's done other things, but yeah, I didn't know the guy too well, but he was there. You'll see him. He's on the left nipple smoking a big joint. With his
Yeah,
beard.
that's a good.
It
that's
is
a
a
good
funny
picture.
picture. It's hilarious. I got the COVID. You got the COVID. Austin. Did you ever meet him?
Oh, he said his last name.
Oh, whoops.
We'll add that out. Replace it with Simpson.
Yeah, yeah. Or whatever. You can do the robot voice.
Understand? Yeah. Yeah, I met him.
I love one of the comments on this album's videos in all caps. Never gonna forget the day I ordered the CD from Relapse Records back in high school, and my friend Matt saw the cover and said, "I'm gonna slam my meat to this chick."
You know what? That's actually, I was going to say understandable. I don't know if that was the word I was going to use. The word I was going to use is like, let's just say understandable. It's 1997. You do not have access to other things to just beat your, what did he say? Pound his meat? What the hell did he say?
He said, "Slam my meat."
Slam, yeah. You don't have access to slam your meat to just anything. And so you have this album, you see this album, fine. Slam your meat, I guess, in 1997. So fine. Fine. There was one more thing I was going to bring up before we... Oh, I know. Yeah, same old spiel. For the next episodes, if anybody has any questions we can answer, topics they'd like us to cover, or just let us know how we're doing. Let us know how you're liking the show. You can shoot me an email, shoot me a DM on Instagram, whatever, comment section. Yeah, and with
Just
that,
slide
I
on
guess,
in.
yeah, slide on in. I guess Paul can get us started here. Do we have a mystery reviewer today as well, who's not here, but you have their brain?
Yeah.
Okay, get us started, buddy.
It's in a jar on his desk.
So wait, for context too, this is basically another Paul pick. Paul basically picked something.
Yeah, strong
and
armed him.
we said fine. So the idea here was a brutal death metal classic. So this will be the longest block that we've ever done, 5 in a row.
Yeah. Good block.
All right, bud. What are we doing and why, and how and who and when?
Alright, so Fred came up with a great idea to do a classic review, and I thought it
Is
would
that
be
Fred's idea?
yeah.
Oh.
And
All right.
yeah, and I decided to do I brought it to the guys because I think that, doing like Suffocation or something of that classic status was a little bit too on the nose, so I was like, let's do a band who is very, very classic from the 90s, started from 91, came out with 3 demos in the following years, then finally a full length, Sickening Erotic Fanaticism in 1997, and it's off of Pulverizer Records. It has one of the bandmates' girlfriends on the cover. I guess they were gonna have like a model or someone they paid to do it, and she was like, no, I'll do it instead. And
Did you say the band name?
yeah, no, I didn't. Mortal Decay.
Details.
Yeah, well, they'll see. They've already known this for
They
an
know.
hour.
They know what it is. I just don't.
Yeah. So Mortal Decay, very evolving band. They have such a distinct sound from album to album, and even within the first 3 demos too. Very technical, but like in a deranged type of way. And in this album, they do a couple of re-recordings of some demo tracks.
Recordings, actually.
Yeah, it's like maybe 6 songs.
Mm-hmm.
And on the original demos, they had Johnny, who basically did like the frog vocals and was very acrobatic with the types of vocals he would do. And then they got this guy, I think his name's Kelly or something, to do vocals on this album, and he had a more, I guess, standard sort of approach to death metal vocals, where it almost sound like Frank Mullen or something. But yeah, there's a few songs sprinkled in here that we're gonna be talking about that is basically the evolution from their demo era of songwriting styles, which is going further into almost progressive technical areas, but all within brutal death metal context. Fantastic album. I think we will get shot in the head if we don't talk about Forensic along with this. So these are like the 2 albums that are headed against each other all the time. They have 2 different vocalists, 2 different styles of songwriting. One's from the 2000s, one's from the 90s, and they just have completely different feels. I think Jimmyfromtheblock, who's the #1 stan of this band, put it in a good way, but I'll kind of add a finer point to it. He said that they're almost like 2 different like horror movies. When you compare them, they're very different from each other. Like one's very kind of like B-rated, and then one's very psychological horror. But I think I could put a finer point to it, saying that Sickening Erotic is more just very horror, like he said, and Forensic, along with the name, is something that's very like true crime-ish, where you get the both sides of the story from the lyrics, where it's like from the point of view of the killer, as well as like just being an observer to like these acts and stuff. And then where Sickening Erotics is very kind of on the head with what the lyrics are about. Like some of them, they go into, I know I'm not normal, thoughts of ghastly mutilations, recurring dreams of unspeakable atrocities. So it's almost like
I'm a creep. I don't belong here.
Yeah, it is very kind of standardish lyrics, but this band is known for kind of taking it beyond, or I guess people would consider too far, too brutal. But
Too brutal.
yeah, especially in the Forensic lyrics.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think between the 2, I like Forensic a lot more due to it being holistically a new step in the band's direction versus like everyone does it with their first album, re-record old stuff, woohoo.
So at the end, are we gonna do a forensic track? Are we gonna listen to a forensic track?
Yeah, we can do whatever we want.
Okay.
It's I think if Fred hasn't heard it, it'd be interesting to do that.
I have not heard Forensic.
Yeah, it's a completely different animal.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, what do you guys think of this? And maybe Dan can go into. I know you listen to Forensic, but I believe you like this album a lot more, right?
Um, I don't know. All okay. Here's a strange point and a strange question for you. It's not that strange, but it's a strange observation I feel like made. Um, when did you discover this band?
I found
When did
this
you hear
band
them?
in like high school, the Forensic album. I didn't listen to this album until many years later, maybe within like the last 5 years.
Okay, so you've known this band for a long time,
Yeah.
and I've known you for a long time. I've never heard you mention this band ever up until maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And not only you, but I've never heard anybody mention this band. Like my entire 17 years of listening to metal,
Yeah.
up until about 3 years ago. I had never heard of them up until like 3 years ago, or something like that. Like, what is the deal with that? Why is that?
I
It
don't
feels
know. I
like it's
think it's
gotten a cult following in the last few years.
yeah, it's just very cult band. And I think it gets overshadowed by like the New York scene because they're from New Jersey and don't really have that distinct sound of like the New York style. Like sure they have some sort of resemblance and parts to it, but they kind of go off in their own direction. Especially we'll hear that in like the newer songs that they have for this record. So I don't know. I think they're just very underrated, but that album Forensic is what basically put them on the map.
So you weren't like a super fan of these guys because I don't remember you ever bringing them up at all.
I mean, I really like the album Forensic, and just on like a vocal level, that's like very unique. It's like basically started like the frog vocals
Mm-hmm.
back when he did that on the demos in like '92 and shit, and then just hearing it with a bit cleaner production and very audible and understandable lyrics. It was just like a feat in brutal death metal vocals.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't exactly recall the very first time I heard this band, or actually, I do kind of remember the first time I heard it, or the first time I heard of this band. I think it was probably Jimmy from the Block where I heard this band because I can't think of the band name without hearing his voice going Mortal Decay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mortal Decay. Um, so I probably heard this for the first time, I think, like a year ago, something like that. Mm. Like I said, I think Jimmy from the Block was the first person I ever heard bring these guys up, or ever saw bring these guys up online. Um, and so my expectations were kind of I don't know. There's a certain thing when it comes to like old school brutal death metal. You kind of know what you're gonna get. Um, with with Sickening Erotic Fanaticism, I feel like you don't know what you're gonna get. It's not quite. It's kind of in a strange place. Like it isn't. It's not the most brutal thing you've ever heard, but it's also not typical. Like there are slams, but not really. There's not really like chug 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 chug.
No,
There's
they have
nothing
like
like that.
they have such distinct rhythms when they're
There's
like slam
there's the
sections.
slams are more like in the drum beat, but the riffs are kind of like elongated and strange. Um, with this album, especially the songs that are like exclusive to this album, when I first heard it, I was like, wow, this has a lot of riffs, a lot of riffs. Um, and if you look how long these songs are, it's like 6 minutes per song. Um, with like a shitload of riffs, and it. I see why they're called technical death metal. They're yeah, they are pretty technical. I don't know exactly who to compare them to. The only thing that came to mind was like kind of um kind of Dying Fetus. in a certain kind of way.
Yeah, I can hear
Like
that.
they rhythm like that. They rhythm like that. They kind of melodicize like that. Um, Looking at some of these other bands that are on the same list or on the similar artists, the same list. uh, don't yeah, Suffocation. I get that for like Suffocation. Everyone kind of has to be influenced by that in a like by proxy way. Dehumanized. That's more like. Actually, I don't recall what Dehumanized sounds like. Isn't that a little bit more typical early slam? Kind of like
Yeah, it's kind of like internal bleeding.
internal bleeding, yeah, like typical what you would expect. It's slightly like Pyrexia, but Pyrexia was kind of like Suffocation. Um, I'm looking at this list. Okay, here's one that actually kind of makes sense. Gorelust, from Canada,
Mm.
and
Yep.
Demonacy, sort of, where it's like it's super like heavy metal coated and thrash coated. It's not really it's not really moved away from any of that kind of stuff yet, and it's not that weird. Like it's only slightly weird because the riffs are slightly weird, but as far as this band goes, it's pretty easy to follow stuff. There's nothing here that's um that like you go like there's nothing that's there's nothing that makes your head spin. All of it's very good, and it's very riffy, and it's super solid as far as I can say right now. It's all This album is almost confusing. It almost is like one of the weirdest kind of 90s tech brutal death metal bands.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
it's
exactly
not.
know how to
Yeah, because a lot of the
how to
tech
explain that.
brutal bands, they like are kind of a step ahead of this, where in like a technical sense, where you
Yeah.
have like Malignancy and even like Dying Fetus doing, way
This
more
has
technical
much more
stuff.
this has much more atmosphere to it. Like it feels like that's kind of the most important part. Like the riffs, but the atmosphere of the riffs that the each riff creates, and like what you're supposed to be feeling um, with this album is it seems to be the most important, rather than I'm gonna confuse you with riffs, or I'm gonna make your head spin with blast beats. It's kind of like neither of those things. It really feels like I kind of wish I would have discovered this band when I was like much younger, because I would have really liked it. Um, this this to me doesn't feel like something separated within like brutal death metal where that kind of moves to the side. This sort of just feels like a 90s death metal album that's like headbangable, and it goes in a lot of places that I like, and it's just it's just kind of purely death metal in a way that reminds me that yeah, 90s death metal is probably my favorite um, subgenre.
Yeah, I think that this
So
is very like demented music, and the way that the atmosphere is created here through the riffs and vocals as well. There's a lot of acrobatics in there as well, and it just seems like very like sicko music. I don't know if you guys pick
sick
up that vibe.
sicko music, huh? Hmm. Well, I mean, in a way, death metal in general is sicko music, but yeah, I think this one kind of puts itself on the forefront, even with the album art and like these song titles and
Yeah, it's almost too strange and too like too much for the regular death metal canon.
um probably the songs that are exclusive to this album, yes, but the other ones almost feel like not quite what you just described. They're a little bit more. They're little bit closer to normal-ish death metal,
Well, I
right?
mean, like aesthetic and like lyrics, like it was probably hard to sell this record with that cover on it,
Mm.
during the
Yeah,
time
so what
where,
Jimmy said.
where everyone was like having, artists draw up records or something. They weren't using like real photos yet.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's like It's interesting that I had never heard of this before, like recent years, but it does look and seem like the kind of thing that would be very much in the underground. I mean, that's where this probably was for a long time, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, this seems like a very recent thing that people are into. Now I see like pictures of kids all the time with like Mortal Decay shirts, but
Yeah,
that
they're
really wasn't the case not that long ago.
yeah, they were saying like they had pretty much like nobody at their shows, and until like J Dog and Jimmy were hyping them up, that's when they started seeing people come around and
J
appreciate the
Dog and
music.
Jimmy handshake Mortal Decay.
Yeah. But Fred,
Yeah,
what do you think? First time
yeah.
hearing it?
As a metal lord, what do you think, brother?
It wasn't my first time hearing this, but the first time I did hear this was ages ago, probably in my, I want to say like 20 years ago.
Damn.
And it didn't stick with me at the time. It wasn't what I was looking for. At that point, I was very much looking for either black metal or death metal that basically sounded like incantation. And this was not it. So I kind of had that like black mark on it for quite a while, and I never really went back to the band much after that. So I'm actually glad that Paul brought it up to give this another listen. I do like it, not as much as I was hoping I would. It's definitely not, like, I wouldn't have called this brutal death metal right off the bat anyways.
That. I was thinking the same thing. It almost doesn't have that that feel to it.
No, it's kind of it's kind of cool that Dan brought up. You have the album exclusive tracks, and then you have the demo tracks that are re-recorded for this. You can hear a lot of that evolution, because the difference between the demos is only a couple of years, but like they stand out so much more. The album tracks, and I don't know if this is because I was listening to Capharnaum and they're a much more technical band than I usually listen to, but like that really stuck out to me. And this is not an album I'd say, hey, if you like death, go listen to Mortal Decay, their first album anyways. But I heard those death-like moments that kind of feel like where the technical riffs come out of a bit more. But I was surprised at how thin the production feels too. There's not much bottom end. It feels like a very light album in that sense. But cool riffing, cool vocals. I did like it, just not as much as I thought or hoped I would.
I kind of didn't hear kick drums when I was listening to this, and the snare is not what like. I feel like there were other bands around this time that had a much more like what you expect from brutal death metal, with like drum tones and guitar tones. Like also this weekend, what I was listening to was a band from Czech Republic called, let me see if I can remember the name. Something Conscience. What the hell did I
Agony
say?
Conscience.
Agony Conscience.
Yeah, that's just good.
That surprised me a lot. That album's from '96, and it sounds the way it does. That was pretty impressive. Like that sounds more like crazy, brutal death metal in certain kind of ways, and then the drums are like really pingy, and the way they're played, like that's much more what you would expect. And a year before this album, that's much more like on what I would call brutal death metal, even though it is from '96. Yeah, the Mortal Decay one is it's kind of an interesting. It's a really weird kind of animal here. It's like it almost doesn't fit in with almost anything. It's this album in particular with these exclusive songs. It does have a sound of its own, and it's like how Fred said, if you like this band, then I would recommend Mortal Decay. I don't know what band I would recommend, or if I don't know what band to recommend for like fans of Mortal Decay or vice versa. I really wouldn't know like who to like. You could say any death metal band, but there's nothing really in general that sounds too much like this.
Yeah, the only thing I could say is like if you like the original or exclusive tracks on this album, then you're gonna like the forensic side because it just leans more into that, just evolves and unravels.
So if you like Mortal Decay, listen to Mortal Decay is what you're saying.
Yeah, if you want, there's
Right.
more of it. Because yeah, they don't sound like anyone else, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
a good unique thing.
Some of the more technical songs sounded much more melodic. Like I
I
wouldn't
think they were always kind of
say-
melodic. Even in their demos, I remember hearing some melody in there too.
Yeah, but like, would you compare it to like Argo Slint or something? Because I don't think I would. But at the same time,
No, I think
I
like
don't know.
the closest
I'd have to
thing,
hear.
the closest thing is probably like Deeds of Flesh or something, with the technicality.
But it's not quite like Deeds of Flesh. It's like maybe the first song is a little bit, but the rest really aren't. Like they don't stick to one certain style. They like have a few different modes, and it's hard to tell what they're gonna do and where. You know what I mean? It's like this album really doesn't have a sound. All you can say, I mean, maybe you can disagree with me, but I feel like all you can say really is that this is a technical album, but it doesn't really have one cohesive thing that it does. Like Deeds of Flesh does. Deeds of Flesh has a very cohesive thing that it does, and so do all the other bands within that in that realm. But this one's a bit different. This one's almost like Sinister in a way, where it's like, yes, it's technical, but you don't know what the fuck they're gonna do next. Like that's how I've always seen Sinister, as opposed to a lot of other types of death metal bands. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I don't want to say malevolent creation because that's more like they're kind of all over the place, but like they're a little bit more cohesive in like being a kind of thrashier death metal band. I think Sinister is probably the best example, just because Sinister and Gorelust are probably the best examples because yeah, they're technical, they're brutal, and for the most part, they could do anything next.
yeah, I
So,
can
yeah,
definitely
I
hear the
guess-
Gorlust in there.
Yeah, that's what I would say, I suppose.
But
for the sound that they're going for here.
let's get educated by the YN. So
Okay.
I got the thoughts of Julian Gonzalez on here. He was originally supposed to be on the episode, but
It's got to
guess
work or something.
gotta make that money. So
Gotta make that
who
money,
is-
man.
Who is this Julian Gonzalez? I don't believe you.
he's the YouTube Wonder Kid, and he's on. He's a band member as well for 2-3 bands now, 4. Plays bass on Galicia. He's from Flesh Mangled. We play black metal together, screamo, and now we're playing brutal death metal with Dan as well. So he's yeah, and he's
Just
Ama-
the song.
great.
Wonder Boy.
great
Wonder Boy.
great guitarist and vocalist, and I figured that
And just
he
a
was
straight up
yeah. I think
robot voice that out.
I think
you want.
he was a good, to pick his brain about this. So I'll just read everything that he sent
He
me.
does talk. He says stuff.
Yeah, I'll just say everything that he said, because I don't know how I'm gonna, spread it out across. I don't know where our conversation is gonna be going, but
Yeah, just go ahead, dude.
Yep.
all right. He said, album overall has a sinister and dangerous feel to it. It's brutal, but in a more intricate and meticulous way, rather than a huge wall of impenetrable sound, kind of like the way you get with bands like Discord or Brodequin. Low key, this is brutal death metal for people who can't stomach most of the later evolution of the genre.
Got that.
This isn't a bad thing though, as it gives the band much more identity. It's very unique and charismatic. Guitar tone isn't super fat or scoop, which works well for all the intricate proggy parts where you have to hear what's going on, but during the chuggy parts, especially the guitar break and Rejoice the Moribund, it lacks in a lot of impact. Some interesting leads are here and there. They definitely have their own voice going on, and it's more than just a usual Slayer-esque noisy guitar solo you get in most death metal. Love the drum sound on the album. Drum triggers are great, especially, let's see, help build a scary, threatening sound in their atmosphere. A lot of unique work on the hi-hats, proggy, jazzy kind of stuff. Bass has a nice, cleaner tone, and it's pretty audible most of the time. Kelly's vocals are easily the weakest part of the album. He lacks the charisma and uniqueness that the original vocalist Johnny had, and a lot of the vocals aren't bad but feel underwhelming if you're already familiar with the band's other work. Kind of feels comparable to if a band like Obituary made an album with the vocalist like the guy from Bolt Thrower instead of John Tardy. Said
That's a funny thing to say.
his vocals work best on the newer songs such as Decompose with Nitric Acid, especially those highs. On the re-recordings of the older songs like Apparition and Rejoice and Moribund, they kind of fall flat and feel amateurish, especially in the vocal breaks. Just trying to find where he left off. Okay. Industrial distortion on the vocals at the beginning of Revive Half Dead just sound flat out stupid.
Yeah, I hate that. I hated that too.
Overall, this album could have been goated, but lacks in a few ways that really holds it back from reaching the heights of releases like the demos and Forensic. Regardless, the album is still an enjoyable listen. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Honestly. Love, Julian.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Did he write that?
Nah, I just added that.
Nice. I knew he didn't write that.
But yeah, I think he made a lot of good points on there. Like, I think it would be a good idea to compare what they become, especially if you like the later or the exclusive tracks to this album. But
I'm glad he said the prog gear moments, because that makes me feel less crazy for calling out a death kind of sound in some tracks.
No, yeah, because there's
a lot of those songs are proggy. Like I said, that you don't know what the fuck they're gonna do.
Yeah, my favorite sections in these songs are the 1 or 2 bars after like a normal repetition of a riff, where it just kind of like gets suspended and floating, and then it comes right back down to like a normal riff. Too. Yeah, it has a lot of great moments like that.
I agree. It isn't a perfect album, but it is good.
Yeah, I just don't hear anyone talking about this one in particular. Like, everyone goes on and on about Forensic, and it deserves that.
What do people say about Forensic?
That's one of the greatest brutal death metal albums of the 2000s.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
It's been kind of the opposite for me. I've seen people mention and name drop this album a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it seems like the tables are turning, the tides, coming in a different direction, where everyone enjoyed Forensic as it was like, in the years prior, but now everyone's sort of giving this one, I guess, more of a chance, because, there's the Chris Barnes, George Fisher, beef going on with the vocals. Like, you have tracks that from the demos that have Johnny on there with the more unique style, the frog vocals, and you hear these re-recordings with the more typical sort of brutal death metal or just death metal approach, and you can pick sides here. So I think
I agree with Julian though. The vocals are definitely not my favorite on this album. I wouldn't necessarily have complained about them, but since he pointed them out, yeah, they're definitely not. They don't stand out at the very least.
Yeah, I thought they were at best like imitating Frank Mullen.
Yeah, they're serviceable. They don't stand out in any way, but they're not particularly offensive either.
Yeah, because I think Johnny's vocals from the demos and Forensic are very acquired taste. Like when you first hear it, you're gonna feel almost like a lack of like impact on it, because it just hits like a different I guess tone in the approach. Like, it's not very aggressive. There's sections where it's almost like hardcore-ish feeling, but then it's just a lot of inhaled vocals that give it a whole different vibe, versus like here you're getting just a lot of typical exhales, and it almost meets the music on an aggressive level, but kind of falls flat on being, unique, like how they had it with Johnny. But yeah, you guys want to get into a track then?
I think so. And if I remember correctly, Dan wanted the first track, so it seems like a good place to start.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, I smoked a little weed on Friday, and was driving home, and I put this on, and I was thoroughly impressed by the first track, which is, I believe, called Decompose in Nitric Acid. Is that it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can get into what this sounds like later, but I was immediately like digging this very much. Standout track. It's doing something that is relatively impressive for 97, and also just super engaging and driving kind of immediately. So yeah, I really like this one. Probably my favorite track on the album.
Alright, well, we'll be right back. Alright, we're back from the first song, Decomposed with Nitric Acid. Danny, why'd you pick that song?
I picked that song besides the reason that I gave in the intro to this, but well that was why that was the reason I picked it. That those reasons there. But listening to it now, I think this song is probably one of the there are a few eccentric riffs here. Well, they're all actually pretty different and pretty weird, but they're mostly like normal. This almost this if you can compare it to anything, there's like it sounds like Suffocation and Cannibal Corpse like married, but like it sounds like those two bands, but it sounds like this album is sort of, or at least this song is sort of moving that sound forward rather than totally abandoning the sound in any way to like be a brutal death metal band. It's still very much kind of just a death metal band. I mean, I really it's not that brutal to be quite frank. Now that I'm listening to this, and I listened to the whole thing today, and it really is more just like regular death metal. I don't really see that this is that brutal.
I wonder if you would consider Forensic as brutal death metal, because they just do it in a way that's not typically associated with like the brutal death metal sound. So
yeah, I mean I know I've heard Forensic and I've heard this album numerous times throughout the past couple of years. I didn't really like go into them like that. Listens. Forensic, nothing on that one stuck out to me the way that it sticks out on this. I think this one's a little bit more like not as subtle. Everything is pretty right up front. Where Forensic seems like there's a lot of little subtleties. But yeah, with this song, I love the intro. It's almost like you said, Suffocation.
yeah, I had the
But
Frank
it gets really
Mullen.
melodic. It gets really melodic, and it kind of reminded me of something like you would hear on an At the Gates album, but not to a point where it's like blatantly melodic, and not to a point where it's blatantly technical. It's all very controlled in this song in particular.
Yeah.
Where like you would hear that from a death metal band. You hear these riffs, and you hear you just hear these structures, and you're like, oh, death metal band. Yeah, that's right. If there is one weird thing that I can point out, there was a riff in there that was like I said it sounded like La Cucaracha. It kind of sounded like that to me. Now that I'm thinking about it, I've heard Forensic. I mean, maybe you can correct me about this, but I don't think that one's that brutal either. Like, is it? The drumming isn't super fast on either of these. The guitar playing is a bit technical, but not to a point where I would be shocked or anything. Like, it is. So what is the appeal of this band in particular? Like, I'm not the most learned about them. Is it that the song structures and the riffing is like different? Because you're right, this isn't very brutal death metal, even though it's like lumped in by those fans. Like, what is exactly the appeal?
I think it's in the camp of like too brutal for death metal and too death metal for brutal, where it's just kind of almost a stepping stone to where brutal death metal is. And I think that it is brutal death metal in Forensic due to the vocal performance and the technicality, because you won't get that sort of deranged guitar playing in regular death metal. And I mean, there's regular death metal bands that have albums that are, considered brutal death metal, but they don't really fit the mold of what you would expect it to sound like. I mean, there's even bands from New Jersey like Damoncy or Demonicy that is brutal death metal too, and they're way more ahead of the curve, but no one sounds like them. You know, it was like almost like a regional sound. Because what else do you have there? You have like Ripping Corpse as well, who doesn't sound like anyone else. There's Human Remains.
Right.
So I think it's almost like a regional sound. In an interview, they were saying that was, influence on them, as well as like Death, which we can all hear. And I believe that another band is like Macabre. It almost is similar in how like far out their plane is from everyone else, you know?
Yeah.
But I do highly consider this or Forensic to be brutal death metal. It is not as fast. It's not doing chugs or anything like that, but it's just beyond death metal and almost beyond brutal death metal.
Really? Is it super death metal?
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not super death metal. It's like almost a more creative take on like what Malignancy does. It sacrifices speed and technicality for progressive creative songwriting.
I'm interested in listening to a little bit of that when we're done.
Yeah, I'll definitely pick some standout tracks from there.
Yeah, let's maybe do a couple. Fuck it.
Yeah, because I think you have to. That's like, even the band themselves says that the Forensic is, basically everything, that a culmination of all their songwriting. Like, they did everything that they've ever done throughout the chronology of the band in that record to
they're at their best.
Yeah, to their liking,
Okay. Well, with that being said, I think you kind of introduced Forensic, so we don't have to do it later. But yeah, what did you got? Let's hear from Fred first. Paul did a lot of talking right now. Fred, what do you think of that track that we just listened to? What do you make of this? And kind of spitballing of where we've gone.
No, definitely the opening was total suffocation. That was very obvious. The vocals, good, not great. The high pitched vocal I didn't really like. They only did it once on the.
It sounded like Chris Barnes.
A little, yeah, but not as sinister.
What we call the rat shit vocals.
Yeah.
But it kind of went on a lot longer than it needed to. Like, there was a bit at the end. Like, the very last riff was pretty cool. But the bit before that kind of felt a little stagnant. But I mean,
when
overall,
I said it did, my foot moved and I ripped my plug out of my headphones.
No, overall cool track, but
you're a little underwhelmed.
You know what? Yeah, we know what Paul was saying though. A bit like too brutal for death metal and too death metal for brutal. Do
you agree with that?
I kind of see that, but I'm also wondering if this had a different album cover, would people view it differently? Because I kind of think they would.
Yeah, if you had the artist, artwork on it versus like
Dan
a picture.
Seagrave artwork on this.
Yeah.
Not even like Dan Seagrave, but something a bit more like. Imagine this had like the album cover for Death Symbolic. Like.
That would work too.
It kind of would, right? Like it's.
Yeah.
But I think that would give honestly a bit more of a better or more accurate impression, because with this cover, I'm expecting something really, really heavy.
Me too. Me too.
And you don't
I expect
really get
like
it.
Sickening Gore Grind looking at a fucking album cover like this.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I'm wondering if that's where kind of the dichotomy is, that like I'm expecting something I'm not getting, and I'm never going to get it because I keep expecting that when I look at this
Never gonna get.
at this cover. But like, if you look at it from a more progressive, technical point of view, then it starts making a bit more sense. But like going into this expecting brutal death metal, I'm like, really this, really?
Yes,
I
really.
No.
Yes, really. I really. I understand the underwhelming part of this, but at the same time, I think this is a very unique death metal band. Just kind of, period. Um, it's got a pretty different sound. I mean, maybe this isn't the most perfect thing, like you said. Maybe it goes on for too long. Maybe it's not that brutal. Maybe it's whatever. Either way, I think it is. I think it is. Yeah, I would probably put it where Julian said, about a 7 out of 10. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Like, it's, when I say pretty good, I don't mean pretty good. I mean pretty good, pretty good. There's two different types of pretty good. Some people take it the wrong way when you say that. That's why I have to explain things. The word pretty, pretty good. It's the Larry David style, pretty good.
I'd probably put it closer, like 6.5.
Okay, understandable. That's close to 7. But yeah, I think we'll kind of get a little more flavor, or a little bit more of a taste of this album with another track, and see what else it does. Because yeah, I think that's a pretty unique track and some unique riffing, and it's mainly the riffing and the drumming. The other stuff isn't that unique. But
Are we doing another track from this now, or are we doing Forensic first?
No, we'll do Forensic later.
we'll do Forensic at the end and see how it compares.
But
So
I'll
who's
just
got the next
say,
track?
about
go
that
ahead,
track. Yeah, a lot of the floaty, proggy parts are the standout here. Even the sort of melodic riffing and like tremolo parts, as well as like the like weird kind of chuggy slams, are all done in a very unique way, where it sort of shows their voice and songwriting turned up a notch from like the demos, especially the first one, where it's a little bit more mean potatoes death metal. But the drumming on here with like the hi-hats that Julian mentioned, it's just like great little flourishes like that. And coming on to the next record, there's even more and more of that, and like all these proggy sections, it's like tenfold on Forensic. So it's like it's just a great sort of stepping stone album from the demos to here to their magnum opus. But let's get on to the next track. I think you wanted to play Revived Half Dead, or what do you have in mind, Fred?
I was actually going for number 4, Meditating Through Mayhem.
Oh, that was my pick.
Oh.
Should we just do 2 and 2?
No, I can pick another one. I'll do Colombian Necktie.
Okay.
That's a great song. But yeah, this is my original. This is my favorite song on the album. It's the longest one, and it's just fucking amazing. So let's just get on. Let's get on with it.
Let's get on.
Alright, we're back from meditating through Mayhem. What do you guys think?
I'm with you on this one. Best track on the album.
Yeah, certainly.
The opening part, total atheist. But the real standout on this is that bizarre, almost lethargic kind of waltzy solo through the middle.
Mm-hmm.
What a weird passage that is, but it's fantastic. And this one is a track that risked going longer than it needed to, like the opener. But they made good use of the time actually, and it ends really strong. So it doesn't have the same fate as Decomposed.
Yeah. Dan, what do you think? Best song?
No, I like the first song better. The first song is more driving. This one's the entire thing's like a waltz. This one's like this is where it's kind of strange that this is considered brutal death metal. This song was just kind of straight up tech death, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, totally agreed. Like this is throughout the whole thing, I listened to it going, really brutal death metal? No, I'm not hearing it.
First
So, I mean,
song maybe,
with
but it's
that
more
in
like
mind,
it's more like a suffocation-y tech death thing.
yeah, but I mean, like with that in mind, taking the notion that it's supposed to be, fucking brutal death metal out the window, and just taking it from a proggy, more technical death metal approach, then yeah, it's cool at that.
I don't know. I honestly feel like the more I'm listening to this, the less impressed I am by this for whatever reason. I'm thinking the first song was pretty good. I thought the first song was better than this one because this one's almost like I've heard stuff like this in like from like 1993. Like this one, I feel like doesn't do uh as much original stuff as either people are portraying or the band is portraying that it's doing. This one's kind of it's not a loss. It's an interesting song. But this one doesn't really this one kind of lacks like aggression to me. This one almost feels like a look what we can do kind of piece. You know what I mean?
Honestly, the whole album kind of feels like it lacks aggression to me, and that's
You think
why
so? I kind of feel that way too. It's kind of
I think
strange.
that's probably why I have so much trouble connecting it to brutal death metal, because if there's one word you can associate with brutal death metal, it's probably aggression, and I don't get that out of this. It feels like uh meditative, almost contemplative, like it's thinking as it does things. It's not just like shooting at the hip or from the
Yeah,
hip
I
rather.
get that. I mean, the maybe something that you were talking about is like the album cover. The album cover portrays it as a death metal band, as maybe a more extreme death metal band, and s- s- a good amount of the music kind of portrays it as that. But this song in particular, the "Meditating Through Mayhem," um, it it sort of puts it through this place where it's like it is death metal, but it's sort of willing to do other things, and it's like showing you that they're kind of interested in a lot of different ideas. Like you can't listen to this song and tell me they're not into atheist and fucking all the bands that are like that. You know what I mean?
I
You
could
can't say,
see
"Oh no,
someone.
this isn't that artsy stuff." This is a pretty artsy song.
I could see someone who listens to brutal death metal liking this album but not understanding why, because they haven't explored the other more proggy bands.
Well, I think that this is more accessible than something like Forensic, where people who are into just regular death metal are gonna be able to cling on to this album more than like Forensic in a way. And I think that this is just a very good showcase on their ability to be unconventional and progressive, and like how you guys were mentioning a death and atheist sort of way, and then still keeping it very demented and morbid in a
Yeah.
Mortal Decay sort of way, you know.
Yeah, because this song wasn't totally lacking of like more aggressive kind of parts, but it mostly was like a tech death kind of influenced thing. I had said, I think you were gone, Paul, but I said that this song itself kind of lacked the aggression, and Fred said this album sort of lacks a bit of aggression, and I think I sort of tend to agree in certain ways, but I will say um, I feel like it stays interesting the entire time. Like there's nothing really here that's like, oh, I kind of understand what's going to come next, in that same sinister kind of way. I mean, maybe probably not this song, and we'll see how the next song goes. But it's in a more elongated way. Like if the first song sounds the way it did, and this song sounds the way it did, then what really are you going to be getting on the rest of it? Because I like all the demo stuff too. I know we're kind of focusing on we're sort of focusing on like the exclusive album stuff, but that's the way I'm just speaking of that. The album stuff is going in a kind of artsy, strange direction. Not aimless, but I don't know where it's aiming exactly.
Yeah.
Morbidly beautiful.
Possibly, yeah, something like that.
Alright, well, let's get into the final song that we're going to be sampling on this album. And it's going to be Colombian Necktie, the 7th track. And
I think
we'll
that's when they
be...
hang you by your tongue or something.
That's brutal.
Something like that.
We'll be right back. Alright, we're back from Colombian Necktie. What you guys think?
They really know how to end a song well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the last riffs on their tracks tend to be some of the best they have.
Yeah, and I love the intro section. It was just so like atmosphere building. It was just like very weird sort of rhythmic play there.
Yeah.
And another song with the solo and these extensions on riffs that aren't really like transition riffs. They're just sort of extensions that go on, and not in a like noodly way, but just kind of allow the song to get suspended and breathe more with more licks and drum fills and stuff, which is very foreshadowing of the next album. Danny die?
No, I didn't die. I said in the beginning of this episode that that this is weird, and I think the more, and I knew when I heard it for the first time it was weird, and now hearing it again, it's not that weird, okay, but it is a bit strange, the style that they're going for here. It's like
Sick and Twisted.
It's like it mainly wants to be, or not wants to be, but it seems to be like something that is taking the suffocation idea and taking the old kind of tech death atheist, just for lack of like, grouping things in. It's taking those two styles and not like marrying them, but it's like, because I feel like it has
it's eloping.
It sort of is. It sort of is. Like, it's got more of the atheist stuff in it though than it does anything that would be like traditional brutal death metal, even for the time, and even like previous to its time. But I think one of its strengths that it has, where it might be lacking a little bit of the aggression of brutal death metal, one of the strengths is marrying these two styles. With that idea, you're kind of able to have a bunch of riffs that are pretty unique and pretty different from everything else. Like Paul was even talking about that first kind of intro riff, where I even said that I've never heard a chord like that before in my life. That's very strange. I did like it, and there are some moments in here where it's slightly generic in the atheist way, but I think they're able to move around with original style riffs just by proxy of like they have to keep going with the sort of like maze-like quality of it. So it's a strange album in the sense that like it is not as brutal as I think I expected it to be, and I really didn't expect it to be as techy as it is. I just didn't expect it to sound like this all the not all the way through, but the newer songs to have sort of quality. Like they have a goal and they're like aiming for something higher. You can tell it is interesting.
Yeah. And with that, I think it'll be a good transition into the next album and what I can kind of say to bridge that gap and paint a picture of the style differences even more as like Sickening Erotic is sort of like the crime scene that gets left and is getting outlined in chalk, and people are checking out and analyzing what's going on with some blood splatter patterns and the time of death of the body, whereas forensic is very much clinical and almost in the like autopsy room where everything is just being drained and cleaned out and very
Clean cut.
reality based versus the sort of fantasy that I guess killers would get in order to justify their actions, where this is kind of dealing with the results. And I think that we should have Julian intro this because he sent me a voice message and I asked him to do. Yeah, I got him on speed dial like that.
Okay.
He says before that, forensic has a lot more moments that make the hair on the back of your neck stick up. And I should have said this in the voice memo, but forensic feels more like a series of intimate moments with some of the darkest parts of the human psyche, whereas sickening feels more like a display of those things instead of how most death metal bands would go about things. But I haven't listened to this voice memo, so it'll be a first. So hopefully we are able to catch it.
Forensic, I'd say it kind of rights a lot of the wrongs that Sickening has. Like the more charismatic vocal performance that Johnny gives really makes the songs more memorable. Musically, it's a lot groovier. I think Sickening, while it has its moments, I wouldn't say it has quite as much of that East Coast, like almost hardcore type of influence. You can hear more of that on Forensic for sure. I do think the atmosphere and experimentation is like a little bit stronger on Sickening, but Forensic I think is just overall the better album. It's just more memorable. It goes by faster even though it's like almost the same length. There's a lot more I could say on it, but if I'm going to sum up like Forensic, I just think it's just a darker album than Sickening, even though Sickening comes close, but I think the lyrics are just a lot more thought-provoking on Forensic, and the vocal performance kind of accentuates that.
Thank you, Julian.
Thanks,
Who was that?
Thanks, JG.
JG.
Thanks,
Right,
Juju.
we're not doing the first song, are we?
Nah, we're beyond that. We're gonna be doing let's see. Do you guys have any say in the songs, or would you guys just
I
want
don't
me to
know.
pick them?
I have no.
I
I
haven't
say
heard
not
it,
the
so.
first one.
Yeah.
That's what my only say, not the first one.
Okay. Fred, no? You don't have any say, nothing
I
sticking
haven't
out to
heard
you?
Forensic, so
He doesn't know, and I don't know either. All I know is I heard the first one today, so I don't want to hear it again.
Alright. Well, we'll go into the third song, Chronicles, and
Okay.
we'll be right back.
In my years of confusion, the escalation of my mind's insanity became prisoner to my imaginings. A psychopath that society created. Horribly abused as a child, only the most identified, intoxicated through the multitude of my cries. All the wretched death were burning. The death diary occupy. It is vision eternal, a chronicle. toying with innocence. I get the teeth to remind me of a smile. No sexual acts, just the insane healing. You see I haven't had those earnings. Big blood. Tens of tall species and 6 feet. Political sense and torture. The middle of my lost to hell made of hideous forms of execution. It remains known on the outskirts of the city. Very hell in the season of bursting in the stomach.
Alright, we're back from Chronicles. Fred, what'd you think?
So it's funny because this is more fluid. I like the vocals a lot more.
Agree? Both?
The production is much stronger.
Agree?
And don't get me wrong, I prefer this overall. But it's not as creative as what we heard on the first album. It's a bit more in line with what I would expect from Brutal Death, and it's not sitting on fences as much as the first one, which kind of what makes the first one such an interesting listen. I think if we had reviewed this one instead of
Sickening,
we probably wouldn't have had as much discussion about it. We probably would have been a lot more in agreement of this just being badass.
This is good. This is really good.
Yeah, and it wasn't until like the very end, a riff in the last couple minutes that really made me think back to that first album. Because the other thing this had that the first album kind of lacked in a lot of parts, aside from the general heaviness, was speed.
Yeah,
There's
a lot of blasting.
That there wasn't any of that on the first album, which is why until that more techno riff showed up in the last couple minutes, I was like, all right, this sounds totally different from the first album. Then that kicked in, and then you can kind of connect some dots back to the first one. But generally speaking, if all of Forensic is represented by this track well, then it's two very, very different things.
Yeah, definitely evolved, and you can kind of see where the first album is very rooted in just death metal songwriting, and with the flourishes and sort of lofty parts in there, the proggy sections, they get much more expanded on here. In the more, I guess you could say, like other riffing in here. Like how you mentioned later in the song, you can kind of identify the same DNA from the first album, but all the way from the beginning of this song, it almost seemed like a evolution of those proggier parts and making them into more catchier riffs and sections in here.
Agree.
It's very abstract album, and the vocals definitely, like I said at the beginning, aren't like a strong aggressive impact, but it fits the vibe of this in such a way where I mentioned it's like almost like a autopsy is being performed, and is being very clinical and clean about it, and
Makes sense now that you say it.
yeah, and then
after hearing it.
the clarity of the vocals on
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
on and yeah.
I heard one line, I immediately knew what the song was about.
All right, so Paul can't do those, but they are remarkably close to Demilich, and that's cool. There was that one line where the vocals were more fast-paced and high-pitched. Could have done without that. Kind of took me out of the moment, but
Yeah, it was like the only one.
Yeah, but like I heard that, I'm like, the fuck was that?
The high
Was
pitched
that
vocals I
necessary?
liked very much.
Tens of child molestations and sex slain. That's what he said.
That's death metal, dude.
Scattered
But-
more photos used for masturbation.
Death metal, dude.
But yeah, that was a fun track. I'd check out this album.
Yeah, definitely a whole different beast from the first one. I enjoyed this record a lot more, but I think I just kind of have a bias against albums that use like demo tracks instead of like pushing something more
Too.
new forward, you know. But
Yeah, me
I mean,
too.
everyone does that, so nothing against them. And it's cool to hear two different styles of vocals on the same tracks, and a little bit more technicality and tightness on performance in Sickening. But here's their magnum opus, and it's a complete package, and everything that they want you to hear is on display. But Fred, you got any final thoughts about Mortal Decay, or did you already say your piece?
I think that I need to spend more time with Sickening, because I think Forensic, by the sound of this one track, is something I could throw on and enjoy right away. Sickening, I listened to a couple times leading up to this, and I could see it growing on me a lot more than it has so far, because there's a lot going on in there. I think overall the song lengths are too long. Like, most of them are like the 5.5, 6 minute period, and I'm
Agree.
Do you think it just kind of wanders, too off track?
Yeah, but I'm curious to see if like listening to this will draw me into that a bit more, and instead of it dragging on too long, just get lost in it with the song.
Yeah, that's kind of what I do. Like in the song "Meditating," it's almost, I think you mentioned it too. It's like very heady, and
Yeah.
you're just kind of along for the ride.
But I mean, I could see it going that way for me. I'm not there yet, but I'm after listening to it and discussing it for the last little bit, I can see how people might be into this. I still don't understand how people who are into brutal death really like it, but I could see why you would like this album. So,
Yeah, and I'd say to get the best of both worlds, where you like this vocal style a lot better, but are interested in kind of diving deeper into the more like songwriting style of Sickening, listen to the compilation A Gathering of Human Artifacts. It's a lot of the demo songs that we heard, so like Apparitions, Revived, Half Dead, Open the Grave, Soaking Entrails, and Consume the Rancid Gore, Rejoice and Morbun. A lot of those songs were on Sickening, but they have the vocalist from Forensic on it, so it just sounds even more like you would associate Mortal Decay to be. So I would say give that compilation a listen. It's definitely a whole other experience.
It's too bad it's only got like 5 tracks from the third demo. Like, if there's one thing that bothers me, it's an incomplete compilation. It's gonna drive me nuts. But yeah, no, I'd be curious to hear those tracks with a different vocalist and a raw form. See if it, like that added heaviness gives it a bit more dynamics. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely different. But I think you mentioned that there's only 5 tracks from the last demo, Brutalizing.
Yes.
Well, side A and side B, they're just the same songs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's not missing anything.
If there's one thing in this world that I hate, it's an unlocked foot locker.
It's they usually mark it as same thing on both sides, but they had to treat it as 2 different things. But why does it say side A Brutalizing Creations and side B Delirium? Are they different recordings?
I'm not sure.
Same songs on both sides, but each side is labeled differently.
I've only listened to them through the comp, so I'm not sure.
No, I'm looking at the entry now. It says same songs on both sides, but each side is labeled differently. Thanks, guys. That's confusing.
But yeah, Freddy gets to Betty, and then you know, the grown-ups will stay and talk a bit.
All right, easy there. All right, well, those are my final thoughts. Toodles, everyone, and
good night, Brotown.
You boys enjoy the rest of your night.
Yep, you finally made it through the block.
I know. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, actually. I wonder how Paul's gonna manage during the thrash block.
I'll manage. I'm brutal. I'm brutal enough.
Fine.
We'll see.
He's brutal on the pod.
All right, see you later, guys.
Night.
See ya.
All right. This is the Adult Swim part of the episode. We got Gramps to bed, and now it's time to get sick. So let's go.
Stitches, stop. You laugh.
Let's listen to one more track.
I didn't get to give my thoughts on this track at all.
That's too damn bad. No, go ahead.
All right. If I can just be brief, this is much better.
Be long.
Huh?
So be long-winded.
I kind of got to piss, so I kind of have to be brief. But yeah, immediately this I like this better. I could tell immediately. It's kind of weird. It's like the first time I heard the first one, I immediately liked it. But I think the more time I spent with it, the less I found to like about that first album. I think it feels kind of disjointed. It's like, I mean, I already kind of explained everything that I did about that first one. I just don't see myself coming back to the first one after tonight. I just kind of don't. With this newest one with Forensic, I've heard it before. I think I just wasn't paying that much attention, but it has a weird sound. Yeah, you're right. It kind of takes everything that the first album did, but like it condenses it and just makes it way better.
Yeah, I think yeah, for sure. And I remember when I we talked about it a couple years ago, whatever. you said you like Sickening way more, and you kind of just didn't like nothing really clicked for you for Forensic, and I was like surprised. I was like, damn, they're like this is a 10 versus the 7 or 8 that Sickening is to me.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take it back a little bit. I think I'm gonna go with Fred. I think it's a 6.5. I don't yeah, I think honestly I think it's okay. I don't really see any huge hype for the first album. But for this one, just hearing the one song, uh yeah, I don't know what it was when I don't think I was just at work the last time I listened to this. I
Yeah.
never
Didn't have
did
the good headphones on.
I didn't have the good headphones. I wasn't in the car blasting. I was just kind of at work. Um, but yeah, hearing this again, it's really interesting sounding. It's like it, it's like it still has old school death metal to it. There's nothing here that's like overly anything. It's sort of sounded perfect. In every aspect. It was a perfect song, perfect original sounding heavy death metal song. I still don't quite understand. I'm still in Fred's boat. I still don't quite understand where the brutal part is. It's not that brutal,
Really?
but it is. It is good. I think it is good. I don't think it's that brutal though.
Yeah, it's fairly unconventionally brutal.
I would be comfortable calling this just a death metal band. And maybe it's understandable why death metal people like brutal death metal people like old school death metal. This is like I kind of said about the first album. This is sort of doing exactly what the first album did but better. I said that the first album seems to be taking the OG death metal idea and moving that forward rather than shifting into a whole different sound or genre. And this album seems to be doing the same thing, but doing it better than the first one did. Much more cohesive and just better. Like the riffs are a little bit like Fred said, a little bit less experimental, but I don't think that matters. I think they sound better, they feel better. Um, they're more mature. It's yeah, this is a really cool song.
Yeah. And I think, let's see. Let's go. Would you want to hear a long song or?
I want to hear a really good song.
Alright, let's listen
I want to hear a
to.
really dope song.
Let's listen to Monkey Cage, which is the 4th track. So,
You know something too before we go back to listening to a track. Um, big difference here in while I was listening to this album this week and just now versus the one Forensic song we heard so far. The Forensic song had me bobbing, had me fucking grooving. The other
yeah.
album really kind of didn't. You know?
Yeah, you're kind of just more or less like kind of trying to understand it.
Right. This one's
Yeah, it's immediately more catchier
yeah.
and more like sort of hook driven where where Sickening is a little bit more wandering and you're kind of like having to, follow the bread trail.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I don't think it's a taste thing. I think it's a quality thing. Because I mean, you know that I think we're both kind of in the same boat sometimes. Where like we both like disjointed, immature metal, but at the same time we also like stuff that's like catchier in a mature way and like makes more sense.
Yeah.
Rather than, like Drew would say, maybe Drew wasn't totally wrong all those years ago when he's like, it's not musically correct, Dick. I think that case works sometimes. I mean, there's other times where I think it's okay. Take the first Dark Tranquility album, for example. That is very immature, but it's ambitious, and it is like super crazy and cool sounding. Versus the first Mortal Decay album, where it sort of has the same thing going on, kind of, but it's not it's just not as good. Like the quality is lacking there. Um, and then say like the second Dark Tranquility album, more mature, it might be the better album.
Yeah, Gallery.
Yeah, might be the better album. And then take Mortal Decay, their second album. That's, if there's a way to kind of take two. I know they're separate genre, but you kind of get the idea that I'm
Yeah.
making, the point that I'm making here. So I wouldn't say like I'm not gonna go dog mode where it's like because the album is catchier, it is better.
Yeah.
That's because that's not
More
always the case.
Tunsky, yeah.
It's not always the case. Take like, I don't know. Okay, fine. Take the first Rotted Christ album, a beautiful masterpiece, and then take the, I don't know, sixth Rotted Christ album. Probably a piece of shit, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get like there's kind of a balance that we can go through where it's like the experimental, immature metal versus the mature,
The
non-experimental
fine,
stuff.
yeah.
There's not really a fine line, but there's like each of those pieces that you can take and put out and make a good album. You know,
Yeah.
just you know, just because it is one of those things does not mean it's going to be a good album. You kind of need the quality, no matter what. You just need good shit,
Yeah.
whether it's crazy or whether it's mature. Is kind of the point I'm getting at.
And to speak more on the quality, like the band themselves was originally going to have the vocalist from from Sickening on Forensic, but they just thought the jump in quality of their songwriting wasn't really vibing with the sort of amateurish style that Kelly was doing. That's why they got Johnny back, and he sort of elevated the album to his pedigree now. So with that in mind, let's listen to Monkey Cage.
Don't look now, but Johnny's back again. I am your man.
We'll be right back. Alright, we're back from the monkey cage. Dan, what'd you think?
What was that song even about? I didn't that one I didn't catch the lyrics.
It was just about like animal experimentation.
Animal experimentation, slaughterhouses. Okay. That one had like a couple of circusy riffs. I'm not a huge fan of the circusy riffs, but it's so condensed and like how the fact that like there's it's kind of full of melody almost the entire time is really interesting, and they do it in a way that's I don't think I've ever heard before. It's like it's kind of crazy. It's like Suffocation, or like you said, Morbid Angel. It's like some of these riffs, but they shorten them by a lot, and by doing that, it's kind of like they make it more. I don't want to say brutal, because that's cop out, but they make it more. They make it quicker to move around, which I think is a bonus when it comes to this album. This one moves a lot faster than the other one does. If we're still comparing them,
Yeah.
We don't have to.
Very, very fluid album, and with these shorter riffs, like you said, it's just a little bit more agile going from one place to the other. And I think that this song also has just that very groovy Morbid Angel feel, and it's not like doing anything normal in the standards of like brutal death metal, where brutal death metal riffs will have like very highlighted points and riffs with like pinch harmonics or maybe just like chugging, whereas like this band does a lot of riffs that are like bending and are very like drawn out sections. And during the middle of the track there was a part where they're doing like cymbal hits with the chords, and then you could hear like the bass in the background like lurching, and a lot of the vocal parts on here are very deliberate, and even the parts where they're absent kind of just shines a light on the instrumentation on this album. Like the whole 1 minute outro with just that lurching Morbid Angel riff, and a little bit of like the Egyptian sort of scale riffing in there too was just very in the spotlight there. And the drumming on here is fantastic. It just follows along with the riffing in such a interlocked way. There's even sections where they sort of divide amongst each other, but then they just come back so almost like a puzzle piece. It's just like a masterclass in just abstract experimental death metal.
Yeah, I think it works it works. It makes more sense to sort of see it that way rather than yeah, for whatever reason this band does not say brutal death metal to me really in almost any way beside, well, not even like not even the vocals. Like they seem to avoid any of the tropey things that that brutal death metal does besides like some of the riffing, but like as far as slams and things go like that, there's none. They pretty much avoid that. Like they've got the groove, but they kind of avoid um really any kind of riffs that could be seen as like generic in any way. Maybe besides some of those Egyptian parts that were in that song, because I didn't hear them in the first song that we listened to, but they were here in this one, and that's another
Yeah,
thing
that's
I
another
don't
thing you
love.
don't like. Yeah.
I don't like the circus, and I don't like Egypt. Um, but besides that, the it really is a crazy kind of style where it's like these simple riffs are woven in like they're woven into each other in ways that that make it really easy to follow. Like the first album is relatively easy to follow, but this one's even easier to follow, even though it's actually more technical than the first one is. It's like there are leads going on with the first guitar, but at the same time there's a rhythm going on like maybe right after that in from the same riff, but there's another lead guitar that's also doing the same thing. So they're kind of both switching off in these like I don't know, like up and down kind of motions that are very strange to write, I imagine, but they're easy to follow.
Yeah, and even
Which makes this a yeah, this is a very unique kind of thing. Unique leader records.
yeah, I think we covered a record by them, Euphoric Defilement too, um, and this record sort of stands out of what they would usually be putting out, which would be like let's see, Abominable Patruity, Afterbirth. Let's see who else. I think I went over them last time.
Hmm.
Condemned. But yeah, it sort of sticks out like a sore thumb here, where
Drum hurts.
um, it's just such a different take on brutal death metal
It is.
that
It doesn't even feel. It's like I said at the beginning. It feels like a continuation of OG death metal.
it's almost like
Yeah.
like uh like if Gorguts were to continue along the lines of like Erosion of Sanity or something.
Not even. I feel like it would be like if Gorguts kind of continued from the considered dead style, but sort of say they worked on that album, but like added more melodies and kind of added more maybe like techie parts and things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of it's there's it's part of the it does kind of remind me of Demilich in certain sense, like because Demilich had a lot of weird polyphony and like counterpoints and things. This band is doing that sort of perfectly. Um, I think that's probably a giant key to just being unique is having counterpoints behind your riffs. Because if you just have one guitar doing you can come up with like a pretty original riff, but if you have something sort of backing it up and something that's leading into the next part, uh, or like subtly changing, then you're able to do a lot more, and able to sort of just make things more cohesive with two guitars like that.
yeah. Would you say like Nephis is sort of along the lines of
Yeah.
what Forensic is doing?
Yes. Yes. In a different way, but yes. That's
Yeah,
that's more of like that's more of like what we would actually call super death metal
yeah,
rather than brutal death metal. This I sort of understand why why this is brutal death metal, but to me, this is one of the closest things I can think to this is like just something simple, just suffocation, even though it doesn't really sound much like that. Um, I see Defeated Sanity on the similar artist list, maybe in a certain aspect. Um, there was some other band that sounded like Demilich, and I think they were from Finland too. It sort of reminds me of them a lot too. I don't know that I'll be. Oh no, it's not Fabricant. I don't know that I'd be able to find them. I have them somewhere on YouTube. I think I sent them to you and Fred a long fucking time ago. Um, Replicant? Is that it? Let me just see if I can find this real quick. Because it was really good, and it reminds me of this. It wasn't Replicant. 'Cause yeah, I mean, maybe there is a way to make technical death metal, technical slash brutal death metal that is catchy, but not catchy in like a pop version. Like I don't know. Let's just say Obscura, for lack of a better band. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing. I wish I could find this other band. I'm looking for similar artists to Demilich, because there was something from Finland. I'm pretty sure that was kind of insane sounding, as far as like a new band taking an old school death metal style. I mean, there's a few others like what's that other band that is slightly similar to this, or slightly similar to like Nephis? They got a weird name too. Mephitis.
Yeah.
Mephitis is almost doing the same thing where it's like um, old school idea, but sort of new spin on it. And there's probably room for that. I mean, if this came out in 2002 and there's really nothing else that sounds like it, I mean, what can you compare this to? Is there anything that you can think of? Is there any band that's influenced by Mortal Decay? Because I know it seems to me like they just got popular. I mean, what do you think?
Man, it's like such a hard thing to say. Because I hear a lot of praise going along with Forensic, but I feel like bands that would try to imitate this would kind of fail miserably. And because the way that Mortal Decay is able to, like you said, condense these riffs into the essence of a couple notes, it's like gonna be so hard to replicate, and I can't think of any bands that stand out in like a Mortal Decay like clone type or worship project, and I can't really
Yeah.
think of any bands that are even having Mortal Decay type riffs.
Yeah, because I mean, okay, as far as I can tell, when it comes to what did somebody call it? That new standard delete is the new $20 spin.
Yeah.
Um, because it seems like all the bands that are coming off of there are sort of doing the same thing. Um, they're all like they're all doing Disgorge style
Yeah.
or like Pyrexia. Not even Suffocation. They're like not even doing that. They're doing Discord. Like I feel like there's probably more skill and more time that would need to be taken to write something like Forensic versus writing not Disgorge, but something like Disgorge.
Yeah.
Because with Disgorge, what do you with a band like one of the NSC bands that are like it's just I don't even know a bad one. Whatever. Let's take a bad one. What do? You pick up a guitar and you go. And with
Yeah.
Mortal Decay, you have to be like.
Well, I think what we were talking about the last practice was like the NSC style is more of like a competition of like I'm faster, and where there's sort of like a gaping hole in the new brutal death metal of like actually being creative, like Mortal Decay has here, and
Yeah, they're extremely creative.
I don't know if there's any bands that are filling that
Creative?
hole because There's even, a lot of the stuff that I like that's melodic, brutal death metal, like, you know, Broken Torso and, um, what's it called, Nomen Mortis and stuff like that. But, Mortal Decay is sort of outside of that as well. It's not really like in the sense of like being a melodic death metal record. It's sort of
Well, it's
more
not like
along the lines of being like progressive death metal. Like when you brought up
Yeah,
Phantasmagory,
yeah.
like from the Ukraine, like I can definitely like see the resemblance there. But that's just a lot of later sort of death stuff that Phantasmagory was taken from too. So
Fred said he heard death stuff on the first album.
yeah, and I think
Maybe.
it was those proggy sections.
I'll say maybe for the second album. That's gone, and I'm glad because I'm just I don't really want to hear any more bands that sound like death for the
Yeah,
most part. I just don't want to hear it anymore.
and I
um,
think this band also just is sort of unconventional with the riffing. Like there's so much tremolo riffing going on, whereas like it's sort of like I guess you have like more chromatic style riffing and like discords that's like tremolo, but here it's like actual like intervals that are used in, I don't know, it might be notes within like a scale or something versus like atonal notes that like discords type bands use, and even their uh you know worshippers.
well, it doesn't even necessarily need to be in a scale. It's just like choose good notes.
Yeah,
As far as Mortal Decay goes, they've chosen good notes. Um, Whereas some of these other bands, yeah, they're choosing notes, but they're doing a lot of them, and it is atonal. It is rumbly. It is it is kind of like putting out a certain type of atmosphere where like forensic is like you described, like clean, clinical, sick. That's what it
precise.
is.
Yeah,
It's clean, clinical, sick, precise. It's relatively simple, maybe on at first listen, but you listen deeper and it's not. Um, yeah, I like your idea where it's like Mortal Decay is. I said it like Jimmy. Mortal Decay. Mortal Decay is they're more on the progressive side rather than on the like competition side, the competition of brutal death metal.
yeah, because I think they're from '91, so these guys are probably more interested in just creating good songs
Yeah,
rather
yeah, yeah,
than
yeah.
like trying to be
One upping everybody.
yeah, because at the time there's like bands like Malignancy and stuff, like they're one up in everybody, but they also have a creative, innovative sound along with it. And I just phoned in our brutal death metal correspondent to see if he knew any bands that are influenced by Mortal Decay. He said, honest to God, I can't think of any that sound like them. Nobody else has ever done anything proggy in the same way since. And I guess that validates our point. Thanks, Drew.
Yeah. Um, I definitely want to listen to the rest of the Forensic album now, and
Yeah, I'll follow up with you next week and see if you gave it a listen and see what you think. Cause I think you're gonna give a whole 180 to when you like first gave it a listen.
for yeah, first time I wasn't paying attention. Um, and the first album, honestly, first album's okay. As far as the second, it's okay. I think it's all right.
No, I was
Um,
thinking about what's a movie where I think it's where there's like a baby guy with like a big brain attached to like some massive flesh or like someone, And he's like, open your mind. Open your mind.
A big baby guy.
Yeah, I remember Matt used to really like it. I want to say it's like one of those like.
Oh, it's Total Recall.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's Quado or whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's how you
he's
gotta
the
listen to
psychic
this
little-
one.
Open your mind. Yeah. Total Recall. Yeah, it's so interesting.